Hey there, everybody. Hey, hey, hey. Can y'all hear me pretty good? Hey, Lisa. What's going on, sis? What's the word? Today was definitely not one of the days that I was planning on going live. But I'm like, look, okay, I'm bored. It's my little off day. Let me just see what's going on with the fam. I ain't even get a chance to share it with nobody, but it's all good. It's one of them days, y'all. It's one of them days. Okay, you say you can hear me good. Okay. All right, cool. So today we just gonna go up to we just gonna go over a couple of videos tonight. I got bored. I didn't sleep the majority of the day. Try to catch up on my little rest on my off day. Hey Lolo, hey boo. So we gonna go over some true crime videos and just check out a couple of things. That's about it. I done made me a little fruit bowl. I got me some strawberries, some grapes, some oranges, and what else? Some pineapples. So yes, I'm great at this point. I couldn't figure out what I wanted to eat, so I'm like, let me just make me a little fruit bowl. Then hopefully I can figure it out later. What's been going on? I had fell asleep on break room live, and then by the time I got up, she was already talking about ending it. I'm like, oh man, I missed the whole live. It's all good though. Yes, girl. I couldn't figure out what I wanted to eat, so I'm like, okay, let me just put some fruit together and call it a day. Maybe my little taste buds will get intact because I don't know what I'm on. Sometimes it just be seem like I be eating the same stuff every day. It seemed that way. Then you got stuff up in there that's just frozen. I don't be all the quick stuff always be gone. That be the first thing that's gone. It's all everything that's in there that's quick. Everything else gotta be prepared. It was a good live, yeah. I already know y'all be turned up over there. You had flounder and shrimp. Well, that sound good. That definitely sound good. I need to cook more too, but I slowed down a lot. Like I really I really just cook upon request at this point. I do, unless I got something, that I really want to eat in particular. I just might make me some chicken Alfredo though. I might end up doing that. It's not gonna take long for the chicken tenders, the chicken breast tenders to thaw out, and it just don't take that long. I make the homemade sauce; it don't take that long. I might end up doing it and probably make a salad, eat a salad. Yes, me too. That I waste a lot of food. Then it's like I'm still trying to train myself on how to make smaller portions. Well, I come from a big family, and the way that I learned how to cook was in big portions. So it's like even both of my daughters, they on their own. You know what I mean? They in their own stuff at this point. So it's just me and my son and my old man. And shoot, my old man, he'll just tell me to make him some breakfast. He'll eat breakfast at any given time of the day or night. And it basically just be us. So it's like I need to start trying to make some smaller portion, and it'd be hard. When I make a pot of spaghetti, I'm literally make a real big pot of spaghetti. I be trying though. I definitely be trying. I just wish all this cold weather go away because I'm ready for some barbecue, my own barbecue. Mm-hmm. They gone, girl. Even though I know I can probably like put them a little plate up or something like that, or take like one of those oil pans and just go take them a portion of it. It be cold outside, so I don't be feel like doing none of that stuff. Like, child, mm. Neither one of them driving right now, so it's like I will have to do all the traveling. I don't feel like doing all that. But I'm about to get into some true crime stories today. I just randomly picked some stories because normally I told y'all I wasn't gonna go live until tomorrow. Oh, tomorrow will be really just based off of my content. But today we about to get into some true crime stories. And if everybody didn't get a chance to go on my community wall for Movie Monday, y'all can just vote on the toll. What kind of movie that everybody would like to look at Monday. Just try to have y'all votes in by Sunday, so that way I could be able to pick, you know, the right movie that we can watch come Monday. Right now it's pretty close between I think it's true crime and what's the other one, Lisa? Um Life based off true stories or something like that. Movies based off true stories. So those two is what's that right now. Why is my phone ringing? Not gonna happen. Thank God I'm not on my phone. I'm on my laptop. Hey, Miss Sexy Girl. Yeah, we're gonna do us a little movie day Monday, and I was thinking because I'm gonna be in the chat with y'all, so I'm probably just gonna um, stream it and record it, and then I'll be in the chat with y'all. We're gonna be in the chat, tripping, talking smack. Hey, Shelly Shell, boo. I'm glad y'all coming in now before I get started. That way, won't nobody open book. Hey, love. Hey, sissy. Let everybody coming in now, so that way, won't nobody miss nothing. I'm about to get ready and share the screen right now. Let me share the screen. Miss Cancer, this the type of stuff she like to look at too. Is her true crimes. Maybe she'll get up in here. She probably taking her little nap. So I think this one right here, the case of the most insane twist. But I don't want us to be on one thing for like almost an hour though. So I don't want to do that. That way we can watch more than one. Okay, let's do this one, y'all. Let's do this one. Now everybody want to text me and everything. Yes, thank y'all for coming. I love solving mysteries and shows like Snap. Yes, I thought about doing Snap, but I don't know if it'll allow me to stream it.
Home on Bentwood Drive in Shepherdsville.
Okay, let me pause it because I want to get it to. And let me know if y'all can hear it real good because I can turn it up some more. Let me go back a little bit. All right, here we go.
In November of 2023, an unimaginable crime took place in a seemingly idyllic home on Bentwood Drive in Shepherdsville, Kentucky. A lovely house that could be reminiscent of a home in a Norman Rockwell painting. The manner of the offense was so horrific that a local deputy said there was no way any human being could have survived, let alone two small boys ages 9 and 6. In this video, we will attempt to shed light on this rapidly evolving case, offering a detailed look at the known facts, the repercussions of the incident, and the latest legal proceedings. We also seek to address the haunting question that everyone following this case is asking. What drove the perpetrator to commit such a heinous act?
Tomboy day.
role of a mother in the lives of her children is one of profound significance, a sacred duty that encompasses the responsibility to protect, nurture, and guide. A mother is often seen as the first line of defense against the world's harsh realities, providing a haven of safety and love. However, when this natural role is violently disrupted, it not only contradicts these fundamental beliefs, but also causes widespread devastation, affecting both the immediate family and the broader community. On the evening of Tuesday, November 7th, in Shepherdsville, Kentucky, a neighbor noticed 32-year-old single mother of two, Tiffany Lucas, in an agitated state. She was vigorously cleaning carpets outside her home on Bentwood Drive. When the neighbor asked about her well-being, Tiffany vaguely responded, "There's a lot going on." The next day, the peace and calm of a new morning was shattered by 4 gunshots, all fired within a span of 30 seconds. Moments later, at approximately 11 in the morning, a visibly distressed Tiffany approached a neighboring couple's home, crying out, "Help, my kids are dying," before collapsing on the couple's driveway. The neighbor's husband rushed into Tiffany's house and made a horrifying discovery. He found Tiffany's 2 young sons gravely injured and bleeding, but still alive. Nearby lay a gun, presumed to be the weapon used. Responding officers observed that the injuries inflicted on the boys were in areas typically not survivable. The children were immediately transported to Norton Children's Medical Center in Louisville. Emergency surgery was initiated, but despite the best efforts of the medical staff, the 2 small boys died from their injuries. Tiffany was arrested at the Bullitt County Emergency Medical Services facility and booked into the county detention center less than 1 hour later. She was held on a bond of $2 million. This grisly scene, unfolding so suddenly, left the citizens of Bullitt County reeling in shock and disbelief.
You don't expect this, no matter where you live. Put yourself in these people's place and think, well, it can happen to anyone. And it was shocking, actually. Nobody ever thinks it's going to happen in your neighborhood. Just love your family and hope nothing like this ever happens to anyone else.
Back at the sheriff's office, Tiffany Lucas was interviewed and, according to one official, made statements that she was being manipulated through the internet or through Wi-Fi, through Facebook, and through her Wi-Fi. Being manipulated into doing what she did. Tiffany's statements are perplexing and raise several questions about her intentions and mental state. Is she suggesting she was influenced by auditory hallucinations to harm her children? Alternatively, is she hinting that someone else handed her the weapon with instructions to hurt her kids? Based on published reports, she allegedly told detectives the shootings were accidental and that she inadvertently left a loaded weapon within reach. If so, are we to believe the children found it and used it to wound each other? Considering their ages and injury location, most reasonable people would find that claim preposterous. Neighbors interviewed by local media were in a state of disbelief, consistently reporting that they saw no warning signs or indications that Tiffany was capable of committing such a heinous act. A woman identifying herself as a close friend was particularly shocked, stating, "This is not the Tiffany I know. She would never hurt her babies." This tragic event has deeply saddened the community, leaving many in search of answers. To possibly shed light on this, we will examine Tiffany's background and recent history for any clues that might explain her actions.
My bad, I ain't know me myself. Lolo said she was being manipulative to me. Yeah, like my thing is, if you know that you dealing with some type of mental issues or whatever, why keep going around having these kids? You know what I mean? And then when you're not taking care of it, getting whatever therapy or medication that you probably know that you should be on, then you inflict this type of injuries and stuff like that on your babies. I just don't get it. And then as soon as they get caught, they barely getting time or whatever up in jail or like I said, a bond, and instead they wouldn't be even put up in the mental hospital. Like they still not getting help. So if they get out, it's bound for them to do it again. I don't get it.
What's up, y'all? We out here. Peanut. We out here swimming. Me and the kid. What y'all doing? It's really nice over here. Me and my fat daddy. Say, what's up? He wants to go in the water.
As stated on her Facebook profile, 32-year-old Tiffany Ann Lucas originally hails from Chicago, Illinois. She had two young sons, Jaden and Maurice, who were both under the age of 10 and fathered by different men. The boys attended Freedom Elementary School in Bullitt County. Tiffany and her sons resided in a rented home, which was a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom property spanning nearly 1,400 square feet. Raised alongside her brother, Tiffany shared an exceptionally close bond with her father, John Lucas. He affectionately regarded her as daddy's little girl, fitting the typical stereotype of a doting father. Tiffany's active presence on social media portrayed a complex image of her life. She frequently shared selfies and photos that showcased her fashion sense and flaunted her assets. Yet, the most recurring theme in her posts was her identity as a devoted mother. She often posted pictures of joyful moments with her sons, who were always seen smiling warmly, presenting an outward image of familial happiness. In contrast, delving deeper into Tiffany's background uncovers a history of significant challenges and adversity. Initially, Tiffany pursued modeling in her early adulthood, later venturing into entrepreneurship. In 2016, she opened Miss Tiff's One-Stop Shop, a convenience store offering food, tobacco, and various sundries. Despite her efforts,
Hey, Cancer. I just got done speaking you up. I say Cancer like stuff like this. Where she at? Okay, you on your way home. Drive safe, boo.
the store struggled to gain traction and closed in 2017. Tiffany attributed part of this failure to Walmart's scrapped plans for a nearby location, which she believed would have increased foot traffic to her business, as she discussed in an interview with a local news station in 2016.
A lot of people don't make their way down here, but if there's a Walmart, you come out of the woodworks for Walmart. So probably would have brought a lot of people to, stop and check us out.
Following this setback, Tiffany was arrested on drug charges. She pleaded guilty to drug possession in 2018 and served a 30-day jail term, according to court records. Notably, there's no indication of violent behavior in her past, nor any arrests between the drug charges and the events currently under discussion. Most recently, she was working a job that required her to perform overnight shifts, the specifics of which are unclear. The next major event in Tiffany's life was a profound personal tragedy. On New Year's Day in 2019, her father, 47-year-old John Lucas from Crown Point, Indiana, passed away suddenly. This loss was a devastating blow to Tiffany, plunging her into a state of shock and deep grief. Her father had been a crucial source of strength, guidance, and stability for her, and his unexpected passing left a significant void. Tiffany openly expressed her sorrow and the impact of this loss in a video posted on her Facebook page.
When my dad was alive and would come visit me, I would always bring him here, and he loved it. So since I can't go all the way back up north, I'm releasing balloons for my dad. And I love him so much. And I hope you have the best spot. They didn't have Father's Day balloons, but I got a smile on my face because you always make me smile, and a flower because you always bought me flowers. Be grateful if your father is here. Be present in his life. Mend relationships. You never know. I watch my son struggle without his, and we struggle without mine. So be grateful.
Tiffany's life continued on a path marked by personal tragedies and hardships. Just 7 months after the sudden loss of her father, she faced another blow when Darrell Howard, the 38-year-old father of one of her sons, was murdered. This case is still considered an open homicide by the Louisville Metro Police Department. Within a year, before she could fully process his loss, her mother suffered a stroke and was diagnosed with a brain tumor. Amidst these personal crises, Tiffany also struggled financially. By the day of the shooting, her situation had become dire. The utilities in her home had been disconnected, and an eviction notice was filed.
Okay, Cindy, I think she had the two boys, I believe. And to me it just seemed like, she just like couldn't get right. She was traumatized from a whole lot of stuff. You lose your father, and then you in the midst of losing your mom. Then you done lost your baby daddy. Like, ooh, she probably just snapped out. We gonna find out though.
Found on her kitchen counter. To a young mother struggling to pay the bills, an eviction notice represents a profound sense of vulnerability. It's not just a piece of paper. It symbolizes a looming threat to her and her children's stability and safety. This moment often brings a surge of emotions: fear, as the prospect of losing her home becomes a harsh reality, anxiety about where she will go and how she will provide for her children, and possibly shame or guilt, stemming from societal expectations and personal aspirations of being able to provide a secure environment for her family.
It's definitely not no excuse, because at the end of the day, no matter what she going through, it's a lot of mothers out here that been through the same, and probably even worse. That does not give you the right to unalive your children. Give them to somebody who can take care of them until you can get your act together. And get on your feet. Go get you some help. It's many places out here that you can get help. So it's definitely not an excuse for her actions.
This series of events and challenges paints a picture of Tiffany's overwhelming difficulties, culminating in the tragic and unjustifiable events of November 8th. Tiffany presented a seemingly emotionless demeanor during a remote court appearance on November 9th. This was notably evident even when District Court Judge Jennifer Porter set her bail at $2 million. Judge Porter set the high bond, citing concerns over Tiffany's potential risk to others. Her decision underscores the gravity of the charges against Tiffany, particularly the 2 counts of murder, further emphasizing the perceived risk posed by Tiffany, especially regarding access to weapons. Judge Porter included a specific condition in the bond terms that explicitly prohibits Tiffany from possessing firearms should she manage to post the bond. Through her attorney, Tiffany entered a plea of not guilty. As
What
of the
nerve?
time of this upload, the next hearing has yet to be scheduled.
She got some nerve. Not guilty. Are you serious right now? Well, she definitely ain't about to bond out, because she didn't just got a recent eviction and everything. So she definitely was not about to bond out. Not from that price. Lord. I still haven't heard any type of um mental evaluation. Let's see what the conclusion is about.
The events and challenges faced by Tiffany, as detailed in this video, offers some context and understanding of the circumstances leading up to the incident on November 8th. However, it's crucial to emphasize that understanding the context does not justify the inexcusable actions that occurred on that day. This distinction is important to maintain. As this case progresses through the Kentucky court system, the full extent of the facts is yet to be established, and numerous unanswered questions remain. These include whether the prosecution will pursue the death penalty, the details of Tiffany's mental health history, and the severity of her substance abuse issues. Complicating the situation further is an alleged custody dispute involving Tiffany and the paternal family of her son, Jaden. Terrell Howard, Jaden's older brother, expressed in a published report, "We wanted them. We would have taken them with open arms. We loved them so much." Howard also mentioned that several family members had contacted Child Protective Services over the years, voicing concerns about Tiffany's parenting. These revelations cast a spotlight on Child Protective Services and its handling of the situation, raising critical questions. How were the alleged referrals regarding Tiffany Lucas managed? Did any investigations into her conduct take place, particularly after her drug conviction? And crucially, why did she retain custody of her children? Or if there was an order for removal, was it properly enforced? As more details come to light, the families of Jaden and Maurice, along with the residents of Bullitt County, are awaiting justice with a mix of patience and anticipation. This case not only impacts the immediate parties involved, but the community as a whole, as it may pose significant questions about the effectiveness and responsiveness of child welfare services.
Ooh, child. That is sad. And just to even hear, one of the family members actually was willing to take the kids because they obviously knew that something wasn't right that was going on with the mother, that she was struggling. It was a lot she had going on. That is sad. That is real sad. Let me see if I could find another one, y'all. I had watched half of this one. I'm about to get ready and play. I'm finna get to y'all comments first. But I had watched half of this one. I didn't never finish it because I wanted to share it with y'all. So I'm gonna pause it and I'm about to come back into the comments. Lolo said she didn't want nobody else to have them. Yeah, that's real. That was real selfish. She said she had all her common sense when she was recording. Yep. Yep, you ain't never lied. I'm gonna see if I can find some type of update on that, or she might be still waiting, as far as with her court and everything. I'm gonna see if it's an update on that though. I'm gonna do a little research on that because I want to see what was she what her charges. I mean, they said what her charges was, but how long did she get? That's the only thing they didn't say. So we're finna get started with the other one, y'all. This one is gonna be something else. This one, when I started looking at this one a little bit, I say, let me stop looking at it. I want to be able to share this with the fam. Here we go.
Make sure you pussy ass take us, y'all gotta take us together. With my baby, I love him. I love him so much.
This one's for couples. 13 embarrassing questions. Who overthinks everything? Who showers less? Who is always eating? Who has a nicer butt? Who is more possessive? Who drools more? Who is a better driver? Who curses more? Who always sleeps in? Who is always on their phone? Who has the worst singing voice? Who takes the most selfies? Who is the lawbreaker?
Evil exists in this world. Trust no one. This is the story of Deshae Stevenson, a kind, vivacious, driven woman who fell for a covert narcissist and was murdered, then dumped in the street. The story takes us to Dallas, Texas, a modern metropolis known for its many attractions, including the Reunion Tower, the Dallas Museum of Art, Dallas World Aquarium, the American Airlines Sports Center, beautiful sceneries, and numerous eateries that will keep your taste buds buzzing. Deshae grew up in a small, close-knit family in Dallas, Texas, where she was showered with love and attention, and was taught the meaning of hustle and self-sufficiency by her mom at an early age. After graduating Atlanta High School, Deshae started her own business because she knew that owning her own business was the way to secure herself and family financially. She tried her hand at several businesses before sticking with retail clothing and accessories, as that yielded more profits and was more fulfilling for her. Like a lot of new business owners, Deshae started selling from her apartment. But as the demand for her clothing increased and she consistently added new merchandise, expanding the variety to include men's clothing, as well as handbags, eyelashes, and more, she opened up a storefront and then in May 2022 got herself a bigger spot to accommodate her growing merchandise. With her sister Jasmine by her side, she was able to do much more. She had completed her tax course in 2021 and joined forces with Unlimited Taxes and more, and was extending her business prowess because she had goals and always work at improving and upleveling herself financially. Deshae was very business savvy, wearing her clothing pieces and showing them off on social media every chance she got, and she had the perfect body to show off her pieces. Almost everything she wore, she sold. And there is no doubt she was destined to be the successful businesswoman she was. And she was just scratching the surface of what she could accomplish in her lifetime. She had a beautiful 17-year-old daughter, Maya, who means the world to her, and a wonderful mom she caretakes for who unfortunately had a stroke and was partially paralyzed. Deshae had a big heart and she loved hard. She was not afraid to share her time, money, or anything of value to her with the people she loves most. Unfortunately, she loved and shared her heart with the wrong man. A man who has never been loved, has no idea what love is, and was incapable of giving love. His name is Michael Smith. Deshae met and fell in love with Michael, aka Miracle Measy, a few years back and was looking forward to spending forever with him. However, in 2016, he got into some trouble with the law and was arrested, charged, convicted, and sentenced to 5 years in prison, which puts Deshae's forever with him on hold. She stood by him throughout his time in prison, visiting him as often as she could, and as soon as he was due to get out on May 17, 2021, she went and got him at the prison.
Yeah, they got my girl, I need you saw you can call you number. Yeah, my period. Big red, my period. I didn't know my this what they been waiting on, ain't it? Ain't no so bad money to crime this thing. You can I ain't made him no crime. But you can you crime like you around, you around. I know what you did. Come on, I got long way down to play, right? You're making mine, you say hi. Hey. We got 8 hours. Can't even. Baby, you got my ID. Hey. Me too. Yes, thank you so much. Thank you. I can't hear you. I will. Okay. What she say, Mike? She said have a good trip. We gonna try to have a good trip. It's a long way back. What's up, cousin? Yeah, I got him. I got him. Yeah. Yes. I'm finna fly back home. Cause my finna eat steaks and shit. You gonna have to pull up today. It's a bunch of drunk shit going on in the house. I'm finna take them to see his mama first stop when I get to Dallas.
I need y'all to pay attention to a lot of expressions that's gonna be on her face when she be going live and stuff like that, because you could tell that she has some type of insecurities, even though she's a real beautiful girl, and very successful and everything, but she still has some insecurities about herself. Just look closely.
Huh? Right. Huh, cousin? Yeah. You know finna be in that bag and he ain't in nothing else. Cause he ain't worrying about nothing. He learned his lesson. He good now. Yes. I got my face, my makeup done and stuff. Just to go pick him up. Let me get off. I pick it out live because I don't know if he fantasized about my beauty with my makeup or he just want me to get out live, y'all. I'm figuring to get up out live.
That's another red flag, y'all.
Yeah, I had to go live. I had to go live for you. We had a nice room and everything too.
Within a few days, on May 24, 2021, they were married at a courthouse and later had a wedding on September 11, 2022, which she funded.
What's his name? What's his name? What's his name? I pledge my life, God stay unto you. God stay unto you. In the name of the God Father.
This video, like, it was so many different red flags that that we can actually see, but she was blind to it. She was in love, you know what I mean? Like, the first one I seen, let's see, well, how many red flags we done seen so far? 3. I think that's the third one. The first one, him coming up out of jail, her picking him up, up out of jail. The second one was him giving her a certain type of look to, that made her feel some type of way. She like, let me go on and get off live. He looking at me, she played it off real good. And this is the third one.
Of the God Father, the Son Jesus Christ, and the Son, the power of the Holy Ghost. The power of the Holy Ghost.
Yes, she paid for everything, including his tux, y'all. Everything.
Hallelujah.
Deshay was in love and extremely smitten by Michael.
My baby, I love him. I love him so much.
She didn't think she deserved him or was worthy of him because he was so handsome. And she was ugly. So she did everything in her power to try and keep him happy. Screaming happy birthday to my husband Mizi. I don't know what I did so great to end up with such a handsome gift from God like you. I love you like I never loved somebody. I've experienced things that I never even imagined life would bring me. And every day I look forward to forever. No relationship is perfect, but you are perfect to me and for me. Your love makes me want to love you better. Your thought process elevates my thinking. You are my everything. Thank you for making me your wife. I truly am the luckiest woman in the world. Happy birthday, my love. She was even planning on having his kids and remarrying him in 5 years.
My son, I had my son, and then 5 years later, I'm having another one. We're gonna get remarried again.
But Deshay did not know the real Michael. Michael had a very troubled childhood. He did not have a stable, secure home and had to take care of himself, as he puts it. And he still does not have a great relationship with his dad. Hef my daddy, always hating, saying ho shit. And I've been taking care of myself since I was 11 years of age. And he continued. We can only imagine what he went through being in the streets trying to hustle and survive. But the streets and the home environment in which he grew up made him who he is, a covert narcissist. Since the day Deshe met Michael, everything she did seems to revolve around him.
Oh, you want to play this one? Okay, baby. My baby want to play this one. Yeah, my live me through this. I'm going to leave this up. Okay. I like that one, baby.
She would involve him in everything she does, and even takes him with her on her mommy-daughter hangouts. She did everything for her husband, who was comfortable being dependent on her. She even got herself a house to get her daughter out the hood, as she puts it. But she also got it weeks before Michael was due to go home from prison to ensure he would be comfortable as much as possible.
Okay, before we do that, how many red flags have y'all counted yet? How many red flags have y'all counted so far since the wedding? Let me read Cancer's. Cancer say, I'm still, okay, you still here. I'm just getting myself situated, shower, gonna eat. Okay, sis, we'll be right here. Oh, Miss Mill, thank you for sharing these stories. They're very heartbreaking, but educational. Absolutely. Absolutely. But this is stuff is real life, y'all. Like, this is stuff that we can actually help other people if we come across anybody. We can be able to educate them about certain things like this. Like, we got to realize that we still have children and grandkids that's going to come across these type of situations, and I always tell my subs and family, like, when I'm playing stuff like this, don't put yourself, your position, anything that you went through, don't put yourself, within other people's shoes. You know what I mean? Because most of the time, these situations, you may have been through something similar, but it's not your story. You know what I mean? So you just got to look outside of the box and look at things for what it is. Here we go.
Yes, I got my baby at the hood. We're not in the hood. We're really living like that. We're not in the hood. We're really living like that. Thank y'all so much. It's the kitchen area for me. Don't mind my brother in Big Mook. But I got me my new house today. Almost 1,700 square feet, three bedroom, 2 bathroom, 2-car garage, all brick home, period. Leave me alone. I'm doing other shit right now. Coming up next will be my shop, so stay tuned. I will be giving me a shop next. Yes, Brittany Cooks, I got to let y'all know when the barbecue, because y'all know I love to cook and I love family gatherings. So it's lit. It's lit. Me and my room right here. My little girl room will be over there, and it's another room. No, that's gonna make up that to be knit room. Yes, jacuzzi tub for me and my nigga. Period. His and her sink. Period. Y'all just don't know how happy I am right now. Like, oh my God, like, y'all, this shit can't be real. Like, open that up, Big Mook. Cause you know we lighting the fireplace. Yes. Thank everybody so much. Some of y'all is really actually true. Everybody really, some of y'all really actually true happy for me. Some people not, but yeah, sis, I can't wait till you come over. You know we having a housewarming and stuff. I'm so excited. Look at my brother, y'all. It's the kitchen for me because I love cooking. My dining room area. Can't wait till I furnish my everything new, not just past, but new everything. I'm so excited. Y'all just don't know, right, brother? We finna load up groceries in here. Talk. Let me let the garage down. Y'all see that Challenger parked out there, in my driveway. 2-car garage. Leave me alone. Yes. Look at me now. Look what I'm trying to show half of the house. You already know, sis. Room on deck. Stop playing. Stop playing, on deck, sis. I'm really living like that.
She should have left him there at his parents' house when she stopped by them on her way from picking him up from prison. But instead, she took him home and married him. She picked him up from prison on May 17, 2021, and within 7 days, on May 24, 2021, they were married at the courthouse. She married him because she paid for the rings. And later on September 11, 2022, she threw them a huge wedding he described as luxury wedding, and she paid for everything, including the clothes and shoes he wore to the wedding. And she had been clothing, feeding, housing, wining, dining, vacationing, and romancing him since then. He wanted all her attention, and for her to always highlight him on her social platforms as a great husband who she loves dearly, so that others could admire him and deem him important. From the outside looking in without discernment, they were the perfect couple. He already let her know in private how to act, and she fell right into acting and did a great job at it. He even fooled her sister and family members, leading them to think he was such a great husband in person because he acted very nice around them.
Like I done been around him. He never gave me them kind of signs that he would do that to my sister. Like he never did.
He kind of stopped going because he was so quiet. He was so laid back. Like he was sweet in front of us, but behind closed doors, I just feel like he was a monster.
And she facilitated his fakeness by being all over him, smiling at times, hugging him and saying how much she loved him. And she had to laud him on her social platforms because it mattered to him that people think he's a great person worthy of admiration. He never thinks of her and her needs, and he knew he was hurting her terribly. But in true narcissistic fashion, he continued on, expecting her to continue enduring his abuse, as he expressed in this Facebook post. And I'll just read the 2 lines that sums it all up. Bae, I know I'm taking through some shit, but keep overlooking the obstacles. This is real narcissistic behavior, not I'll work at doing better. Just keep overlooking the obstacles, as he calls it. She placed him above herself, and he knew it. She seemed confident, but she was only confident in her ability to earn and provide. She was not confident or assured in herself. So he played on her emotions. She integrated him into her daughter's life, and even celebrated him on Father's Day, wishing him a happy stepfather's day, which he couldn't care less about.
I know you say you hate Father's Day and all that. Hopefully y'all can change that. Come on. I hope you like it, okay? Come on. Okay, got Mike. Okay, babe, let's go read the bed. Okay, what you say?
Look at how he's trying to delight himself with her while on Facebook Live, not thinking about her, the person, for a minute. Just what he wants when he wants, and she had to stop him. He's so into himself, he's unaware of everyone else. She lauded him on social media even while he was in prison, showing him she was still down for him and reassuring him he was her lifetime partner. On Valentine's Day, she lauded him as the world's greatest husband and the best man any woman could ask for. She took him on vacation to Jamaica for his birthday. And again, she lauded him.
I was
And she gave
muted.
him
Sorry, y'all.
$10,000
Hey,
cash.
books.
Birthday, baby. You got the girl. And you leave, baby? We turn up, we turn up. We just ate breakfast. Y'all, this is so beautiful, isn't it? Y'all just don't understand. I ordered this Bible. The reason I got this Bible, y'all, you think I've been reading? I told him I could read some couple scriptures of this Bible, y'all. But I ordered this Bible from Amazon. But in reality, it's like a lock safe box. He don't know that what's in there. So y'all had to know I couldn't put the whole 10,000 in there plus the ring. So I don't know how much thousands I got in there with the ring. I have the rest of the thousands in my purse. So here come Easy. He don't know. And his last birthday present. It's going to be on the 7th of April the 7th, which is his last birthday present. I'm be so excited. So, me's about to come. I'm about to give him $10,000 in cash. And I bought him this new ring with it's inside this Bible.
Let me go back,
Yeah, I
y'all.
took his phone.
I know we all was talking to Boots.
Looking at my
I'm gonna go back just a little bit.
I ordered this Bible. The reason I got this Bible, y'all, you think I've been reading? I told him I could read some couple scriptures.
Look at how he's trying to delight himself with her while on Facebook Live, not thinking about her, the person, for a minute. Just what he wants when he wants, and she had to stop him. He's so into himself, he's unaware of everyone else. She lauded him on social media even while he was in prison, showing him she was still down for him and reassuring him he was her lifetime partner. On Valentine's Day, she lauded him as the world's greatest husband and the best man any woman could ask for. She took him on vacation to Jamaica for his birthday. And again, she lauded him. And she gave him $10,000 cash.
Birthday, baby. You got the girl. And you leave, baby. We turn up. We just ate breakfast. Y'all, this is so beautiful, isn't it? Y'all just don't understand. I ordered this Bible. The reason I got this Bible, y'all, you think I've been reading? I told him I could read some couple scriptures of this Bible, y'all. But I ordered this Bible from Amazon. But in reality, it's like a lock safe box. He don't know that what's in there. So y'all had to know I couldn't put the whole 10,000 in there plus the ring. So I don't know how much thousands I got in there with the ring. I have the rest of the thousands in my purse. So here come Easy. He don't know. And his last birthday present is going to be on the 7th of April the 7th, which is his last birthday present. I'm be so excited. So, me's about to come. I'm about to give him $10,000 in cash. And I bought him this new ring with it's inside this Bible. I took his phone, y'all, because he tried to get on Facebook a while ago. I ain't want him to be looking at my shit. Me in Jamaica, y'all, with the vibes. Literally. Ate breakfast. Now, me don't know what up. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, huh? You should have stayed over there, shit. Yes, brother. That's right, B. Thank you, my video. Yes, y'all. I think I got good service. Happy birthday, baby. Here you go. I got you a Bible for your birthday, baby. You gotta keep God first, baby. Read John 3:16. Open the Bible. A new ring, baby, and I got you 10,000, but I couldn't put 10,000 in there. Show everybody about your ring. Ooh, look at you. Yes. Let me see, baby. Ooh, look at my. Yeah. So I want to give you 10 in cash. I don't know what you're gonna do. You can do whatever you want to. 2,000. I don't know. Yeah, baby. And I got it in there too. The rest of it in there. You're welcome, baby. You're welcome, baby. Look. You're not it. My husband with new ice on his hand. Don't play with his wife. Don't play with my nigga. Those real diamonds. Tell them, baby, we don't wear nothing for diamonds, baby. Real diamonds. Cost a pretty penny, but it's real diamonds, baby. I refuse. I could lose everything today. I know I can get it back just because of you. I love you so much, Meezy. Yeah, that's right. New ice for my.
Look at how distracted he was. It's as if she had to constantly shower him with gifts to keep his attention on her. And hear her choice of words, she had to constantly praise him. God sent me a king. I never felt this kind of love before. He treats me like a queen. I married a man, not a little boy. The kind of love Deshe was bestowing upon this man is the kind of love you would give to someone who is deserving. He was not deserving, and she soon realized he was not the man she thought he was. He was selfish, demanding, unappreciative,
You like that one, baby? Okay.
and very controlling. She would talk with him about it, and he would promise to make changes. But after a while, it became clear to Daché he was never going to change, and it became tiring. She was just so tired, she couldn't do it anymore. As she expressed right here in a Facebook post, I'm mentally at a place where I can't afford to freely give anymore. Meaning, if I love you, I need for you to love me back. If I care about you, I need for you to care about me too. If I sacrifice for you, I need sacrifices in return. If I protect you, I need to be protected as well. My mental capacity won't allow me to keep pouring from an empty cup. I can't afford to accept one-sided love and energy anymore. We all deserve to be poured into as we pour into others. By October 13, she was writing, you all got to stop thinking all your blessings coming from God. The devil will bless you too. By the 14th it was, sometimes you got to blame yourself because you knew better. Accountability. On October 18th, in an almost reminding, self-kind way, she wrote, never be afraid to start over. And on October 19th, just 5 days before she was murdered, it was sounding pretty serious, like she was under cheating accusation.
Okay, y'all. So we just heard more red flags. So I'm gonna say this because I know no matter what, a lot of people that be in these type of relationships or these type of situations like this, I noticed that it's like kind of trending for that person to actually start to give the clues of when they getting ready to break out after she didn't, hey Angie, hey boo. But when she messed up as well. They always say when any type of narcissist or within abusive relationships and stuff like that, even if they are not a narcissist, it's just more so of giving clues that you're getting ready to leave. That is a really, really big, red flag right there. And it happens so often. They start to get back and forth into an argument. It just start off like that, and then things start getting worse. The abuse couldn't get worse, and then they go straight to social media, start making those type of posts, or they probably will even go to their significant other and turn around and tell them I'm gone, or just giving them any type of hints to let them know, like, look, I'm out this piece, it's over, it's a wrap. No, when you in those type of situations, you need to start plotting and planning to get out the safest way you can. Real talk. Hey, break room, baby. Okay, okay. Y'all be safe. Okay, I'm about to stop. Put it back on there, y'all.
Attacks and needed to defend herself. If anybody know me or done be around hanging with me, they know I'm faithful as hef when it comes to my marriage and my relationship. I don't cheat. I don't talk to other men. I don't text other men. I don't flirt with other men. I don't even lead men on to even think they have a chance with me. I never and will never have my husband husband out here looking like no fool. Because when I'm with somebody, I'm with that one man. Why would I risk my steak for some shrimps?
Yeah, I just was doing
She
all
knew
this
she didn't
talking.
have steak and he was
I
worse
keep
than
getting to unmute
shrimps,
myself.
but being the narcissist he is, she had to constantly make him feel important and display it publicly. At this point, after marrying and being with him for over 2 years and getting to know the real Michael,
What I was saying, I'm just gonna have to sum it up because I forgot. I be forgetting about unmuting when I go on mute. But what I was saying was it was a situation that I was in that I had to pray myself up out of that situation. So not only, that the plotting and planning to move around and and just not give them no type of hints that you're getting ready to move around, and leave. First of all, keep that to yourself. Probably let about a couple of people know, about what's going on. So that way, you can be able to do things in a successful and safe way. But also, like with a situation that I was in a few years back, it was a guy I let come and stay with me. He used to come spend a night, and we was dealing with each other. Like I can't really call it a relationship because we really was only dealing with each other, for a couple of months. So it was just like, okay, we gonna see where it's gonna go from here type stuff. But he started to be abusive. And then first it was more so verbal abuse. And then when it got to the point where he felt like he was gonna put his hands on me, it was a wrap from that point. He would leave and I found myself gaining my control back. So when I gained my control back and gained my power back, he started to realize like, okay, I can't do this no more. I can't say this no more. Or okay, she gaining her power back or whatever. Her mind is getting stronger, is going back, to the where it was. I wasn't like at this state of falling in love or deep in love at that point right now. So I caught it. But me and my mom used to always pray. I'd tell my mom about it. And we would have a prayer or whatever. She would pray for me on her own. I pray for myself. And eventually, little by little, he was up out of here. He was definitely up out of here. Like I didn't have to worry about him calling no more. I had stopped. I cut off all communication. I wasn't at a place. I wasn't about to put myself up in a situation where I'm gonna move up out of my home. No, I'm not. You're gonna go. That's how that's gonna go right there. All right, back to it.
Deshe knew it was time. Time to rid herself of the baggage that was pulling her down and eating away at her. Constantly giving of her huge heart and big energy, and not receiving back was draining and depleting her. So she decided that love was not enough. One-sided love was not sustainable, and she had to let go for herself, her beautiful daughter, and her loving mom. She had told him a couple times before she wanted a divorce she wanted out, but he had talked her out of it. But this time, she was adamant she was done with him. He was never changing. She did not want to live that way anymore. Giving, and not receiving what she was giving in return. She was up-leveling herself financially and making changes to other areas of her life as well. And being with him was not helping. She started out doing what she knows best and caring for him from the goodness of her heart. But she was not okay with him taking over her life, telling her what to do, what not to do, where to go, where not to go, who to associate with, and who not to associate with, accusing her of cheating when he was the one cheating, and taking in all she was pouring out and not pouring anything back into her. She was done. But he wasn't having it. Michael expected Deshe to stay with him forever, or until he say when, because he knew that she loved him. But all good things must come to an end when there are two people involved and only one is benefiting. But she had to tread lightly. He was the main recipient of her greatness in every way. So why would he want to let her go? Why would he want to let her go and be that greatness to someone else? He'd rather she be dead if he could not continue to be the beneficiary of all that she was giving. So on October 24, 2023, after they had been arguing back and forth in the last few days, and Deshe was adamant she wanted the divorce, he told her to meet him at his father's housing complex so they could talk about it. But he just wanted to ask her one more time if she's really going to leave him before taking her out. If her answer was yes. He had been using PCP in the moments before asking her to meet him, because that was how he coped with anything serious he had to deal with. Deshay was hesitant to meet up with him, but narcissists can be very convincing, and considering the love she still had for him, she agreed to meet with him. Upon arriving there, she got out of her car and went into his. He immediately started begging her not to leave him, and making the same promises he made in the past few months when she mentioned divorce. But Deshay was over the marriage at this point and wanted out, so she said yes. She had to leave for her own sanity and her daughter's sake because she deserved the same love and attention she was giving. He then began to drive off, and Deshay was instantly worried, asking,
Big red flag. Open book. How many red flags we at now? It's crazy. It is crazy. Like, when you know you're getting ready to leave, first off, don't talk about it. Don't tell them. Second off, cut off all communication. And the best thing of all, the number one thing of all, do not meet with them face to face. Don't do that. Like, you literally have to get them out your head. Start healing and get them up out of your head. Go find, the first thing you need to do is go find somewhere where you can go that he knows that he cannot be able to find you. You know, like, oh my God. Okay, here we go. It's like so many people, you know, especially women, could have avoided, you know, this, and this is bothersome, you know. But that's all right though. That's all right. That's why we still here, to be able to educate people. And when we see somebody that's going through stuff like this, or you even hear anything about somebody going through something like this, please educate our kids, our grandbabies, our cousins, everybody, your family. Hell, educate your husband if you got to. Like, I don't give a damn. Like, let everybody know these red flags will save your life.
asking him where they were going. But he didn't answer. And as soon as he was out of the housing complex and on a lonely stretch away from people, he pulled his gun, put it to her chest, and shot her, then pulled over and threw her out the car with one sandal on her foot, not realizing one was left in the car. He then drove home, parked his car, then went for a walk. While out on his walk, he met up with Deshay's brother and sister, who asked him if he had seen her. He told them he hadn't seen her and had no idea where she was. He then continued walking around and later ended up at his barber shop. Meanwhile, Deshay's daughter Maya is trying to reach her, but she's not picking up. Deshay had dropped her off at her grandaunt's house earlier that day and was to pick her up that afternoon. But it was now approaching midnight, and Maya had been calling her mom on and off since 4 p.m., but getting no response. So she became worried. She was never not able to reach her mom, as she always picks up for her. She then reached out to her mom's sister, her Aunt Jasmine, but she wasn't picking up either. So she decided to call Deshay's brother, her Uncle Rope.
Hey, Bronx girl. Hey, welcome, boo. Welcome. We're a little past half of this story, but we're gonna do another one if everybody feel up to it. I know it's been pretty bored up in these YouTube streets because I was not scheduling myself to go live until tomorrow. But I'm like, I say Tiff, she didn't went off of her live, so I'm like, ain't nobody live. Let me go live.
Roper's girlfriend, Ashton Hey Big Mook, who picked up, but was also unable to reach Deshay. They were all worried at this point, so her auntie and uncle decided to meet up and go out to see what's going on. They met up with Deshay's husband, Michael, who told them he had no idea where she was, as he was unable to reach her as well. They searched through the night, and in the early morning of October 25th, they found Deshay's car ditched at the Pleasant Village housing complex where Michael's father lives. They had been keeping their eyes and ears open to see if any news would come in about her. And within a few minutes of finding her car, they saw a post saying there was a woman's body found shot to death on the side of the road near a cemetery just 3 minutes from where they were. So they quickly hurried over to the area and their hearts sank when they saw her clothing. This could not be happening. They told the investigators they had found her car, and the investigators worked quickly to see if there were any camera where the car was found, and sure enough there was. Upon checking the camera footage, they saw Deshay's car and Michael's car pulled in round about the same time, after which Deshay got out of her car and went into Michael's car. The car was then there for a while with them in the car seemingly arguing. Then the car drove off. She was later found unresponsive about 3 minutes from that spot with a gunshot wound to her chest and pronounced dead. The authorities then secured a search warrant and went to Michael's home. Upon arrival, they saw Michael's car in the driveway and noticed blood on the passenger seat, as well as a bullet shell casing and a sandal matching the one Deshay was wearing when they found her. They discovered several weapons in the house as well, but Michael was nowhere to be found. He was later found and arrested at the barbershop where he told officers he was under the influence of PCP, which was later confirmed after he was tested. But Michael was used to taking PCP, as he is seen here casually talking with his dad about PCP.
My daddy gave me this. This ain't gonna knock me on my ass. They said they ain't gonna allow me in Red Bull now. This little bit of shit right here. If I had some Red Bull when you called, I'd have missed your motherfucking call because I'd have been out of there. But you got some PCP in there or something?
So Michael should have known it could cause hallucinations, distorted perceptions, and violent behavior, making him dangerous and deadly. Michael Smith was incapable of giving Deshay the love she desired and deserved and was giving him. And it's all made clear in his social media posts. Here he is in 2016 rapping one of his songs.
I'm in the hood like domestic violence, the neck so solid. He keeps silent and don't connect nobody, protect your body. Cause that 556 probably dissect your body, confess about it. In court, no. Rest in silence, check your mileage. No more smiling, we wild and breed virus. We fire and murder like 3 pirates.
On March 15, 2022, he wrote, "My Wonder Woman always come through and save the day. I appreciate you for paying attention to me carefully." Then, on April 16, 2022, he wrote, "This one right here, Dashay Stevenson, a stand-up loyal boss B. Every time I trip, I never fall, 'cause she catch me." So he continued tripping and she continued catching him until it became too much for her and wanted out. But how could he let her go? How could he let the convenience go? The convenience of having everything taken care of for him and him doing whatever he wants in the process without accountability or any boundaries placed on him. He didn't have to earn anything, so nothing was of value to him. June 25th, my superwoman saved the day. She didn't even need a cape. Constantly needing to be saved and caught, and Dashay constantly saving and catching him. September 5th, my intake of anger may cause me to have an unwanted outburst, and trust me, I don't know what I said afterwards. Frankly, I gives no hefts. Yeah, he may get so angry to the point of not knowing what he say or do, and he doesn't care. December 31st, he continued telling on himself. Soft voice mixed with humbleness can be mistaken as vulnerability, but don't allow the light voice to fool you. I'm a lion in disguise, you may be mistaken as a meal. Wow. Just wow. He was telling who he is and was already having Deshay as a meal.
Like, he's still at it, y'all. Now he making posts. He telling on himself. Oh my God. It's crazy. I mean, even after all of this, you would think that the doggone video, it'll be ready to come to an end. This fool, he started telling on himself.
Meal. And to close this chapter off, here he is in May 2023, rapping, "I don't deserve the hate, so I'm increasing the murder rate."
documented search is fake. They heard to say the industry only search for fakes. They hurt my fake just to turn it to fake my case. Fresh for the eight, sucker they greedy like the curse of hate. That don't deserve the hate, so I'm increasing the murder rate.
Based on his music and his choice of music, he has a gangsta vibe with a thug attitude, and it's no surprise he went to prison, spent 5 years, and is now on his way back. Experiences and situations shape who we are, especially in the formative years. And Michael seems not to have had a stable or safe environment based on this post and others I've seen, helping to shape who he is. The way he is speaking of his dad and taking care of himself since he was 11 years old. But regardless, there is no excuse for anyone taking another person's life unless, of course, that person threatened theirs. And Deshay did not threaten Michael's life. All she wanted was real, genuine love from the man she married and was giving all her love to. Deshay was absolutely being abused. But aside from being financially and emotionally abused, no one knows if she was being physically or verbally abused. But we all know how covert narcissistic abusers operate. They know how to physically abuse their partner so that no one knows but them. They usually hurt the areas that are hidden or can be easily hidden, but they do not hurt their face, neck, lower arms, or feet. Because being admired and looked on as important is major to them, they treat their partners differently when they are with other family members or friends than when they are alone. In front of them, they appear nice and caring to her, but abuse her physically and or verbally when they're alone together. Like many women who are abused suffer in silence, Deshay suffered in silence. According to her sister, Jasmine Stevenson, Deshay is highly secretive and only shares what she wants them to know so as not to thwart their good perception of him.
She was going through stuff, but who don't, but we won't know like how deep it was or what all she was going through because she was very secretive. She just gonna tell you what she wants you to know, because, a lot of people go back and talk and, stuff like that. So she wasn't giving her all or telling everything. Like my niece probably know more than anybody because that was like, they was best friends, it was just always them. So she would talk to my niece and they'll be talking all times of the night about how he treating them and, but it never got back to us. We just got what she wanted to tell us.
She would tell her small portions such as how underappreciated by her husband she felt, thus thinking about divorcing him, but would stop short of sharing the abuse she was enduring at his hands and or words. In the end, 39-year-old Michael Smith murdered 34-year-old Deshay Stevenson because he was losing control of her, and we hope he will be convicted and severely punished for this horrendous crime. One can only imagine what the family is going through right now. Her daughter's confusion and hurt, her mom's unquenchable pain, and her sister's emptiness.
Wow. You could have beat her up. You could have did anything else. So why did you take her from my niece? Like, I don't understand. I would respect him more if he tell me why. She did everything. My sister did everything for him. It was nothing he couldn't ask her for. She did everything. She did everything in her power to show him that she loved him no matter what. Like, I just don't understand. I just want to know why. Why would you take my sister from us? Like, why? She didn't deserve that. She didn't deserve to be thrown out the car, whatever you did. Like, she didn't deserve none of that. You could have took her legs, her fingers, anything. Like, why would you take my sister's life? You say you love my niece, bro. You can't love her. You took the only thing that she had. The only thing. Yes, she got us, but it's nothing like her mama. I just really want to ask him why. She always wanted that happy life. She was saying divorce, but he always come back and make her feel better. So it was just, loved him. That's it. Like, she always wanted it to work.
But her brother is taking it real hard in deep distress because he was the one who gave her away to him at the wedding. As I watch this video a million times, I just cannot stomach this pain. This was the one right here. Nothing else left.
Who y'all? Just let me I'm finna take a deep breath because that's so sad. That is so sad. Like, oh my God. It's so crazy. Look, prayers go up. Let's put some prayer hands in the chat for this family, y'all. Because this is sad too, how the brother, you know, I can't even imagine how he feel. You know what I mean? Like, you gave your sister away to this man at her wedding. You know what I mean? Like, man, like, here we go. Let's get back to it.
Left in tank. My big sister.
Yeah.
My baby. The one who acted as if she was my mama, my wife, my best friend, my partner. All the above.
Yeah.
Sister, I'm crushed, man. Never in a million years I'd think I'd lose you to a sucker. A coward. He didn't want to see you win, sister. He brought you all the way down to your lowest. You did everything right as a wife. You were that perfect one, but just not for him. Those long convos we had, days at a time, about this dude, man. If you know, you know. But you were ride or die for your husband. You did not deserve this. This man looked me in my eyes and lied to my face, knowing he had already unalived my sister. I knew something wasn't right. That morning, just keep replaying in my head over and over. You passed, and your niece is born not even 12 hours later. My baby's birthday is the same as my sister passing. I'll never be able to enjoy this. This is so sad. A joyous moment overshadowed by pain.
Welcome, Hollywood Herb. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's good to see you, bro. Good to see ya.
Deshay was living her best life, doing things for herself and her daughter, what her mom could not do for her growing up. Everything she touched seemed to turn to gold, except her husband, who was secretly jealous of her success, even though he was benefiting from it. She was showing this man the time of his life, allowing him to enjoy things in places he would not have otherwise enjoyed. Yet, he took her life. Michael's action affected many people. He took Deshay away from her mom, sister, brother, and other family members and friends. But most of all, he took her away from her daughter, and her life will never be the same again. Many children are being left without their moms today because a man who came into their mom's life in less than a few years have taken them out in such short space of time. When, as in this case, Dashay's daughter Maya, who has had her mom for 17 years, now has no mom because of a man who has spent less than 3 years being with her. Think about that for a minute. Ladies, don't let men tell you otherwise. Men are designed to be the providers and leaders. We were not meant to be provided for or to be led, unless, of course, we are incapacitated. There are men who will tell you what they know you want to hear, and they will have the best sex with you. Those men will stick around and enjoy the benefits of having you do everything for them while they figure out their next move or moves. But they will not love or respect you. In fact, if you are highly successful and driven, like Deshay was, they will become jealous of you. And that jealousy will lead them to want to bring you down, dim your light, so to speak. And the jealousy will show up in many different forms, such as constantly accusing you of cheating, telling you who you can and cannot speak to or be associated with, telling you where you can and cannot go, telling you you're spending too much time with your family, and many other things that are geared towards lowering your frequency and vibration and making you become low in spirit and less vibrant. Now they can shine, using up all your energy and resources. If you look at all the clips I've shown throughout this video with both of them together, you will see the body language and attitude of Dashay's husband screaming, "I'm not that into you." She wanted so much for him to love her like she loved him. She thought if she showered him with everything he needs and wants and don't even realize he needs, he would start loving her the way she loved him. But sadly, It doesn't work that way. I hope this can be a lesson to any woman going through this experience or suspect they may be heading in that direction. Get out, get away, and do so smartly. Do not tell a narcissist you are leaving him while you are alone with him, and do not agree to meet with him anywhere alone. Be mindful, they are very convincing. If he is already abusive to you in any way or codependent on you, let him find out you are leaving when he is served with divorce papers. And once you tell him the relationship is over, you have to move differently. Get a restraining order. Get a and training. Find out the do's and don'ts of how you can legally off him in your state if he breaks a restraining order. And be ready at all times. Do not let him know you are loaded. As a matter of fact, do not let anyone outside of the law know you are loaded. Word gets around and may get back to him. You do not want him to come expecting you to have a You want him to come thinking you are defenseless. And don't be afraid to use that and don't pull it on him if you're not going to use it. He will not be afraid to use his on you. And ladies, listen to your intuition. Deshe told her sister days before she was murdered that she felt like she was going to die.
On the 21st, it was my birthday. And she called me, she wished me happy birthday. It was like, normal, whatever. We was laughing, joking. And then she just said, like, sister, I feel like I'm finna die. So I was like, girl, whatever, brushed it off or whatever, not thinking that's really how she was feeling. Like, I guess she was feeling her deal. So she kept saying her and my niece was gonna come and bring me a gift, but they never showed up. So
Oh my God. Another thing, what she just said, that baby girl told her on her birthday that she felt like she was gonna die. When somebody comes to you like that, that's them trying to come out. They trying to, they want to say something, and if they try to get you off guard by switching up the subject real quick, no, look, come back again. Let's talk about this. I don't care what's going on. I don't care if it's my birthday. I don't care if I'm toe up. No, we about to talk about this. What's going on? Do not just let that just slide like that. Seriously. We got to stop. We really have to stop having to turn the blind eye on certain situations. You know what I mean? Like, seriously. And then I believe, like, when it come down to the siblings, like, your siblings should know, where was anybody discernment? You know what I mean? Like, they didn't know a lot of information from the dude. About the dude. They basically was just going off of what they see. I don't get that. Did nobody try to pick this man's head, try to see where his head was at or nothing? They just thought he was a good man because of what was being shown to them. That's crazy.
we had talked Sunday, and she was telling me how he was tripping at the fur, and he was trying to leave her on my knees. He was saying, like, she was trying to set him up, flipping out, saying that she was trying to set him up. It was Facebook people out there. It was just some weird stuff. So I called and FaceTime her Monday. She never reached back out to me. She got a busy life. So I was just like, maybe she'll call me back or something. And then I went to sleep just thinking it was normal. It wasn't nothing. Monday night, my niece called me around 12 something. And I was asleep. I was hearing my phone. I was hearing Facebook Messenger. And it was like it was just in my dream. But as I kept hearing it, I eventually woke up. And it was my brother girlfriend saying that my niece haven't heard from her since 4. She was stranded at my auntie house. And I'm like, what? I don't know. I just was like, that's not her. You know what I'm saying? Like, she never leave my niece, no matter what. She never leave my mama, no matter what. So my brother and his girlfriend came, and we just started searching from 12 all the way up until, we had found her that morning.
What she did not tell her sister was that she thought her own husband, Michael, was going to be the killer. Yet she agreed to meet with him that day when her gut was screaming no, and knowing they were not in a good place. And ladies, if you are not yet in a relationship but looking to be in a relationship, get yourself together first. Be it counseling, therapy, fitness-wise, accomplishing the goals you set for yourself, or whatever may be needed to get you to the point where you esteem yourself highly, so you attract the right caliber of men who also esteem themselves highly. Low caliber men with mental and emotional trauma will steer clear of you because they know they do not stand a chance with you. Ladies, I feel compelled to reiterate. Please stop doing this. Stop getting in relationships with men who are less successful and less driven than you and trying to care for them like their mama, giving them money and everything else they need. These types of men ego are very fragile, and they will be there secretly jealous and envious of you because they should be the one having all that you have and providing for the family. But they don't have the balls or the go-getting attitude like you do to go get it themselves and be successful. You cannot love them through this. No amount of love or money you give them will be enough. These men become codependent on you. They need you for their existence. And when you get tired and wants to leave, they will not let you. Like many women, Dashe did what she thought was right. She did what she knew how to do. She gave what she wanted given to her, but she did not ensure the person she was getting ready to pour into was worthy of receiving. Dashe spent her days catering to a man who did not deserve even one day worth of catering. He takes, and takes some more, and in the end even take her life. May Dashe's precious soul rest in peace, and may her family continue to find strength and peace in this most devastating time of their lives. What would you have done if your husband or wife asked you to meet with them while you both were not in a good place? Think about it, then share in the comments. And please like, share, and subscribe for more videos. Thanks for tuning.
Yeah, that was a intense video. Definitely intense. Y'all want to look at another one? Yes, rest in peace, baby girl. Yeah, Hollywood heard. It definitely was sad. It was educational at the same time because we got to stay on board with this, especially with the young ladies we have in our life. They need to be aware of all of this. Okay, I'm gonna find another one right now. I could barely finish that one when I got like towards the middle of it. I'm like, I can't watch this by myself. I gotta go live with this one. I'll get to y'all in a minute. Just looking for another one. Matter of fact, I'm gonna stop sharing that one. I know what I'm gonna do. Let's go. Let's okay, I'll do a small one of those. And then I want, if we got a little more time, if y'all not tired, then we can do a video about these debates. Like some real heated debates. We gonna go into that. I'm gonna do a small one on this one. Got to be more careful out here, baby. For real. Oh, snap. Think I found one, y'all. Think I found one. He got that. I'm trying to find one. They not up in the investigative room, interrogating room. I said investigating room, interrogating room, because they be pretty long. Okay, here go one. Let's do this one because that one is like an hour long, and I want us to be able to go to this other one. Okay, let me share the screen with y'all. Hey, mom. Y'all, that's my mom in the chat, my dear Jay. Hey, you just peeping in. I know you ain't gonna be in the chat that long.
The family of 24-year-old Tamika Houston reported her missing after weeks of no contact. Although she was known to be independent, spontaneous, and often went days without contacting her family, it was unusual for her to go completely silent without returning any calls.
Come on. Ain't nobody got time. Now this doggone Wi-Fi want to act crazy. Here we go. I was just going to pause it.
On Monday, June 14th, 2004, the family of 24-year-old Tamika Houston reported her missing after weeks of no contact. Although she was known to be independent, spontaneous, and often went days without contacting her family, it was unusual for her to go completely silent without returning any calls. The family contacted the Spartanburg Police Department in South Carolina to do a welfare check on Tamika. After searching the house, they noticed that many things didn't align with what they were told about Tamika's
Hey, Miss Lynn.
personality. This raised questions for investigating officers who launched an immediate search for the young woman. Had Tamika decided to leave her life behind in search of her dreams, or was there a more sinister aspect to her disappearance? Hello, and welcome back to M7 Crime Storytime, where we cover solved, unsolved, and twisted cases from around the world. Today, we dive into the most twisted case of Tamika Houston. Today, we visit Spartanburg, South Carolina, the county seat of Spartanburg County. In the late 19th century, it was the center of the textile manufacturing industry. Its nickname, Hub City, comes from the railroad lines that radiated from the city center to form the shape of a wheel hubcap. Spartanburg's population of 38,000 enjoys a suburban lifestyle with the charm of southern small-town living. In terms of affordability, it's a good area to raise a family. But like other cities of its size, crime is always present. It does lean towards having a high crime rate, but following the general safety rules can reduce one's chances of becoming a victim. It's in Spartanburg that our story begins. Tamika Antoinette Houston was born in Spartanburg, South Carolina on December 11, 1979, to parents Anthony Houston and Gabriella Semineni. She had an older stepbrother named Shaquan, a younger brother named Anthony Jr., and a sister named Antonia. Tamika was described as having a warm and welcoming personality. She was always smiling and made friends easily. After graduating high school, Tamika began working as a waitress. She moved out of her family home and settled into her own small house on Harvard Drive in Spartanburg. Tamika always had a love for animals, and once she found herself her own place, she adopted a pit bull named Macy. Tamika was also very involved in her church, particularly the church choir. She loved to sing and intended on pursuing a career in the music industry. In 2003, she auditioned for the popular reality show American Idol in Atlanta, Georgia, but didn't get through the first round. After realizing that her dream of performing was going to be a long and arduous journey, she decided to return to nursing school and settled into her new passion. In May 2004, the school term was at an end and the summer holidays were fast approaching. Tamika was preparing for a much-needed break from nursing school and the exams. She was known to make sudden decisions to visit friends and family.
She didn't have class to report to. She didn't have a job to go to every morning. She was very spontaneous. She was the type of person to get in her car and kind of go.
Initially, her family wasn't concerned by her lack of communication. However, her aunt, Rebecca Howard, grew concerned when she discovered Tamika hadn't been returning her mother's calls. 2 weeks was too long to go without contact. Rebecca contacted the Spartanburg Police Department, believing something may have happened to Tamika.
I called police and said that there's clearly something wrong. I can't locate my niece. She's not returning anyone's phone calls.
Officers from the department agreed to do a welfare check, but told Rebecca it was possible she may have just decided to take a trip out of town. When they arrived at Tamika's house, they first noticed that her car, a 1991 black Honda CRX, was missing and the doors to her house were all locked. They walked around the house and found one of the windows unlocked. Officers announced their presence, but received no response. Fearing something may have happened to her, they entered through the window. Inside, however, officers found some clues that didn't quite add up. They noticed an uncashed paycheck on the kitchen counter. A check of the house revealed that there were no evident signs of a struggle.
Hey, babe. Comedian Troy, y'all. That's my fiance. That's my baby.
While looking through the rooms, officers started to smell something awful in the air. It was not a good sign, and officers intensified their search. What they discovered was a disturbing sight. In one of the rooms was Tamika's beloved pet dog Macy and a litter of puppies. What was disturbing was that Macy and her puppies were left to fend for themselves. Macy and her puppies were severely malnourished, and the room was in a deplorable state. When officers reported their findings to Tamika's family, they knew that something bad must have happened to her. She was not the type of person to neglect Macy. Police immediately issued an all-points bulletin and a bolo, or be on the lookout, to locate Tamika and her car, while her family in Spartanburg began distributing flyers with her details around town. Tamika's family also contacted the local media in an attempt to gain more focus on her case.
As a mother, it's very difficult not knowing where my daughter is or hoping that and thinking that she's okay and safe.
Detectives Steve Lamb and Jay Stedman were tasked with leading the investigation into Tamika's disappearance. They began the groundwork immediately and subpoenaed Tamika's banking and cell phone records in order to trace her movements. What they discovered was that Tamika had not made use of either her cell phone service or bank account since early May 2004. The records backed up the family's statements. No one had heard from Tamika since early May. The investigation was beginning to look suspiciously like a case of a runaway adult, but the family provided detectives with an interesting clue. While interviewing family members, investigators Lamb and Stedman were told by many of them to look into Terrence Moss, Tamika's ex-boyfriend.
Y'all, Troy he don't type like that. So if he end up missing all y'all name and stuff, like he don't he one of them. Don't text him because you would not get a response. So he probably end up just putting in the chat, "Hey everybody," just let y'all know.
Several family members mentioned to the detectives that Tamika and Terrence had recently gone through a turbulent breakup. Armed with the name, they ran a background check on Terrence and discovered he had a criminal record.
There was an incident at her house where she accused him of hitting her and striking her.
However many flares can go off in a law enforcement officer's mind, that's how many would have gone off with Terrence Moss.
A further check revealed an interesting twist in the investigation. Terrence was scheduled to appear in court for domestic violence charge a week after Tamika was reported missing. The charge, ironically, was laid by Tamika, who had conveniently vanished before the hearing. This provided detectives with a possible motive. They had two possibilities. Firstly, Tamika could have fled the city to avoid appearing in court and testifying against Terrence. The second possibility, however, was more sinister. Terrence could have abducted Tamika and may have been holding her hostage in order to have the charges against him dropped for her lack of appearance in court. They couldn't rule out either possibility, so their next step was to call in Terrence. On June 23, 2004, Terrence voluntarily went to the Spartanburg police station after detectives called him in for an interview. He told detectives he was there to help them in any way possible in order to find Tamika. Detectives, however, were more interested in his relationship with Tamika. Terrence explained that he and Tamika met in the year 2000 and were living together until March 2004. Detectives then told Terrence that they were aware of what happened between the couple. He confessed to hitting Tamika after they had an argument over his alleged affairs. Tamika then told him to move out and filed a domestic abuse charge against him.
I actually punched her. And I fell down on my knees and I started praying. And I was like, it's just so many demons in here that, we're becoming physical with each other now that we just need to separate.
When detectives presented their theories to what they believe may have happened to Tamika, Terrence denied any involvement in her disappearance. He told officers that he regretted his actions during their argument and was genuinely concerned for her safety after he heard she was missing. Terrence became a person of interest after his interview with detectives, but without any physical evidence to link him to Tamika's disappearance, he was released. Investigators, however, were not slowing down in their search for Tamika. They started by looking at recent hospital admissions and through files at local mortuaries for any Jane Does who may have been reported between May and June 2004. They'd also looked through the accident reports and 911 calls that were made between that same time period. It was then that they came across a rather distressing piece of information. Someone had called to report the murder of a woman and explained that her body was dumped in the Cleveland Park Lake, not very far from Tamika's house. The call was made in June, around the same time she was reported missing. Investigators launched an immediate search of the area. Divers were sent into the lake and searched it thoroughly. Investigators on the ground also looked for a body among the hedges and trees using cadaver dogs. Hours later, the search was called off after investigators concluded that there was no body to be found. To detectives, it sounded like a call made to detract their investigation. They tried to trace the call back to a location, but discovered it was made from a prepaid cell phone or burner phone near Cleveland Park Lake. In a way, it provided hope for detectives because they believed Tamika may still be alive and could be rescued. Meanwhile, Tamika's family continued to keep the public informed about Tamika and her disappearance. They offered a reward of $50,000 to anyone who could provide information that would lead to Tamika's discovery. Detectives received numerous tips, many of which were bogus. The leads that seemed promising ended up being cases of mistaken identity, leading investigators to dead ends. However, Tamika's family were not ready to throw in the towel, and their persistence would lead investigators to another promising lead. In July 2004, a month after Tamika was reported missing, a woman called the Spartanburg Police Department to report an abandoned car in her Barksdale apartment parking lot.
A woman saw the flyer and saw the description picture of the car on there and said, this looks like a car that's parked behind Barksdale Apartments.
It wasn't just any car. The woman said it looked similar to the car in the missing persons posters all over the city. Investigators and forensic units rushed to the Barksdale apartment complex that was located just 4 miles away from where Tamika lived. The car looked exactly like the one Tamika owned, and after checking the number plates against their records, investigators confirmed that it was, in fact, her car. What investigators still needed to determine was whether Tamika abandoned the car herself, or if someone else had parked it in the apartment complex. Forensic teams searched through the car looking for any clues. There was no blood or scuff marks to suggest a struggle had occurred. However, after dusting down every surface, they found a partial fingerprint on the steering wheel. Under the front passenger seat, investigators discovered a set of keys. After weeks of searching for Tamika, they finally located a piece of evidence that could possibly unlock more answers in their investigation. Investigators questioned residents at Barksdale about whether they'd seen anyone parking the car in the apartment parking lot. One resident said he'd seen a single African-American man park the car and walk away. Another said he saw 2 African-American men abandoning the car. The reports were conflicting. Investigators had to rely on the evidence they found to point them in some direction: the partial fingerprint and the set of unknown keys. The fingerprint was uploaded to the Integrated Automated Fingerprint Identification System, but there was no match in the system. This allowed investigators to eliminate Terrence as a suspect. The only other clue investigators had was the set of keys. Detective Jay Stedman began the process of elimination by using the keys to unlock Tamika's car, but none of them worked. He then visited her house and tried using the keys to unlock the doors of the house. That too turned out to be a dead end. Investigators reasoned that if the keys did not belong to Tamika, then they must have belonged to the person responsible for her disappearance. A further look at the keys revealed a stamp with the code AA14 on the surface. These keys were then taken to all local locksmiths for identification. Fortunately, one of the locksmiths identified the key immediately. He told detectives that the keys were made for the Fremont School apartment complex in Spartanburg. Investigators learned the apartment complex was once an elementary school that had been converted into public housing. There were 46 apartments in total, and investigators tried the keys out on every door. When they believed their luck had finally run out, the key unlocked a basement apartment which had been abandoned due to flooding. Nevertheless, investigators collected whatever evidence they could and sent this to the crime lab for testing. They also questioned the apartment complex maintenance man, who told them the basement apartment had been empty for a long time. He then explained the policy of the apartment's management team. The doorknobs on each apartment were switched around after a tenant was evicted. This avoided non-paying tenants from using their keys to re-enter the flat without the manager's knowledge. However, the apartment's records were not kept in good order, so he was unable to tell investigators from which apartment the doorknob had been exchanged. He was, however, able to provide investigators with a list of former tenants. The results from the crime lab were a disappointment. They didn't provide any evidence that proved Tamika had been in the apartment. Investigators then turned to the list of names of former tenants. Tamika's family didn't recognize any of the names on the list, but a close friend of hers said one of the names sounded familiar.
Her best friend mentioned there's this guy named Chris that she started seeing around the time of her disappearance.
For Tamika's family, the news was unexpected. Tamika's friend told investigators that Tamika mentioned a man named Chris with whom she'd recently started dating after her split from Terrence. She wasn't sure about his last name, but there was a tenant on the list named Christopher Hampton. Investigators ran a background check on Christopher. The results raised many eyebrows. 23-year-old Christopher had a criminal history. He was convicted on a charge of bank robbery in May 2000 and had served 4 years for the crime. He was in the middle of serving a 30-day sentence after being arrested for a traffic violation. Because he'd broken the conditions of his parole, Christopher was sent to jail without a hearing. However, at the time of Tamika's disappearance, he was not in jail and had also been evicted from his flat at the Fremont School apartment a month after she was reported missing. After locating him, investigators brought Christopher in for questioning in late June 2004. He admitted that he was dating Tamika, but said he wasn't responsible for her disappearance. When they asked Christopher where he thought Tamika was, he responded by saying she'd mentioned something about going to Bike Week.
She said, I want to go to Bike Week.
She said who she was going with?
No, she didn't say. She said she was going.
Did you see her at any point after that?
Nah, that's the last time I seen her.
His fingerprints were checked against the partial print found in Tamika's car. Investigators were certain that Christopher's fingerprints would match. However, their hopes at finding a lead hit an unexpected dead end. The fingerprints were not a match. Investigators were at a loss. Every lead they had was drying up. With no physical evidence to link him to Tamika's disappearance, police allowed him to return to jail. He was released after serving his time in mid-July 2004. It had been almost 3 months since Tamika's disappearance when investigators received yet another promising lead. It was an unexpected twist in the case. Within days of Christopher being questioned, a woman contacted investigators about Tamika's case. The woman who called identified herself as the ex-wife of Christopher Hampton. She told investigators that she knew Christopher was dating Tamika at the time of her disappearance, and she was following the case in the local media. The woman told investigators she might have some evidence they would be interested in. She revealed that she was in possession of Christopher's wallet. She explained that he'd mailed her his wallet for safekeeping while he served out his sentence. Inside the wallet, she found a red spot on one of the pictures he kept of her and their 2 children. She agreed to hand over the wallet to investigators if they were willing to fetch it from her. The detectives jumped at the opportunity and paid Christopher's ex-wife a visit. After retrieving the wallet, they sent the photo to be tested for traces of human blood. The red spot was confirmed to be human blood. Investigators then contacted Tamika's parents, Anthony and Gabriella, and asked them to submit DNA samples to test against the blood sample. After a month of waiting, the results were ready. It turned out that the blood on the photo belonged to Tamika. Once again, investigators tracked down Christopher and brought him in for questioning. He denied having done anything to Tamika and argued that the blood could belong to anyone. Investigators told them that DNA evidence didn't lie, but Christopher remained adamant about his innocence.
Whatever happened to Tamika happened right there in your apartment.
Yeah, I don't believe that. How you know that blood? It could be in my blood.
No, it can't be anybody's blood. How long you think we've been doing this? You don't know that we can tell one person's blood from another blood? You ever heard of DNA?
Yep.
Investigators knew that Christopher was responsible for harming Tamika, as the blood evidence proved that he was near enough to cause her some physical harm. However, they understood that the evidence was circumstantial at best. Without a body, the evidence they had may not be able to stand up in court or in front of a jury. There was no way to prove if Christopher had murdered Tamika or if she'd simply been injured and escaped without informing anyone. Had Christopher been responsible for Tamika's death without a body and an autopsy, there was no way to prove if it was murder, manslaughter, accidental, or self-defense. Investigators' hands were tied. As time dragged on, Tamika's case remained open, but leads were far and few. Toward the end of 2004, though, another surprising lead presented itself. This was the lead that was going to blow the case wide open. The young woman made contact with detectives from the Spartanburg Police Department. She claimed to have been dating Christopher during May 2004. According to the young woman, she'd been inside Christopher's apartment, apartment 215, around the time Tamika disappeared, and made note of several odd things. There was a large reddish-brown stain on the bedroom floor, and his dresser had been pushed up against the closet door. She told investigators she didn't want to alert Christopher to what she'd noticed. Instead, she spent the night with them in his apartment. When investigators questioned her further, they discovered she was only 15 years old at the time of Tamika's disappearance. She was also afraid of Christopher's retaliation if he discovered she was the one who snitched on him. This information was kept quiet by the investigative team as they worked to secure a warrant to search apartment 215 based on the new lead. Investigators remained cautiously optimistic as they knew it had been too long since Tamika disappeared, and whatever physical evidence remained could have been contaminated by the new tenants living in the apartment. In July 2005, 14 months after Tamika disappeared, investigators obtained the search warrant for Christopher's former apartment. Forensic specialists joined investigators as they prepared to enter the apartment. The information provided by the young woman was accurate. It was obvious someone had tried to clean up something in the bedroom. On the carpeted floor was a large patch that had been bleached clean. When forensic investigators cut out the top layer of carpet, they found a large amount of dry.
Hey, Miss Angel Boo. Hey, sis. I see you then. You probably still at work right now yourself. You done found you a little tism. I'm glad you was able to make it through. I'm gonna need all y'all up in here too, cause this debate that I'm about to get ready and play, child. Trying to tell you, we ain't got that much longer. This about to come to an end.
Dried blood. Investigators then sprayed luminol around the bedroom, and the scene lit up in front of them when they switched the lights off. In the closet, investigators discovered huge patches of blood. DNA testing was sped up as investigators already had Tamika's parents' DNA in storage. The results came back as belonging to Tamika. It was a heartbreaking moment for investigators as they broke the news to Tamika's devastated family. They surmised that Tamika may have been locked in the cupboard and bled to death while Christopher entertained an underage girl in the apartment that night. From the amount of blood evidence left behind, investigators were sure that Tamika was dead.
It just took all the life out of me because I knew that hey, my daughter was in an apartment and there was enough blood that my daughter could have died.
What they needed to do now was find her body and give her family the peace they deserved. On Friday, August 12, 2005, Christopher was arrested for the murder of Tamika Houston and taken in for questioning at the Spartanburg police station. Christopher remained silent as investigators presented the evidence they found. Knowing the evidence they had against him was irrefutable, Christopher stood up and told investigators he was ready to go. He then told them he was going to show them where he buried Tamika.
He stands up and he says, "Let's go." We said, "Where are we going? Are we going to the jail? Or are you going to show us where she's at?" He says, "I'll show you where she's at."
That afternoon, Christopher led police to a dense wooded area about 12 miles away from the city center. He pointed out the exact spot where he buried Tamika in a shallow grave. He told investigators he was sure that this was the spot because he'd laid 2 branches in the shape of a cross as a marker on the grave. Forensic teams set out to dig up the graves and found the skeletal remains of a female body. The skull, however, was missing, but the lower jaw was found. The remains were taken to a crime lab, and the teeth of the lower jaw were compared to Tamika's dental records. It was a match.
It was really a difficult time for our entire family, and to see my sister like suffer so much. You never really recover fully from losing someone in that way.
Christopher was taken back to the interrogation room where he confessed to what had happened that night and how he killed Tamika. According to Christopher, Tamika had come to his apartment while he was getting ready to go out for the night. She demanded money from him, but he told her that he was trying to save money for the child he was expecting with another woman. This angered Tamika, as she was still upset about his apparent infidelity. The argument between the two escalated, and in a fit of anger, he hit her in the head with a hot iron. She started to bleed out in the bedroom floor, and he hurriedly wrapped her body in some bed sheets before stuffing her into his closet. He then propped the dresser up against the door in case the door accidentally opened and her body rolled out. Afterwards, he went out for the night and returned home with a young woman who he knew was underage. They had dinner in the apartment and then spent the night together. The next morning, he borrowed a friend's car and drove around with Tamika's body before finding a suitable place to bury her. Afterward, he drove Tamika's car to another apartment complex and abandoned the vehicle. Unknowingly, he dropped his set of keys in the car. While in jail awaiting trial, Christopher gave reporters interviews and claimed that killing Tamika was an accident. He said that he felt deep regret every time he watched the news and saw Tamika's family reaching out to people for help in finding Tamika. He stated that a few months after he buried Tamika, he returned to the wooded area and dug up her body. He claimed that he intended to go to the police and turn himself in for committing the crime. However, he developed cold feet and changed his mind. Instead, he removed her skull and threw it in a dumpster in the city. Investigators believed his motive was to avoid police discovering both her identity and the extent of injuries he actually inflicted on Tamika. Spartanburg County prosecutor Trey Gowdy began preparing for the murder trial against Christopher Hampton. Investigators provided physical evidence, witness statements, and an actual recorded confession, making the state's case against Christopher airtight. Christopher pleaded not guilty to his arraignment and remained in the Spartanburg County Jail until his trial was set to begin in April 2006. In the final week of March 2006, jury selections took place. On Monday, April 3, 2006, Christopher's murder trial began. In a shocking twist, Christopher asked the judge permission to address the court. He decided to change his plea to guilty. Christopher's defense team argued for the judge to consider his admission of guilt as a sign of remorse and sentence him to a maximum term of 40 years behind bars. Tamika's family were present at the trial, and the judge allowed her mother, Gabriella, to speak on their behalf before he passed the sentence. She told the court that Christopher deserved a life sentence. He'd put them through tremendous suffering for over 15 months and had taken from them the light of their lives. Christopher was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. He remains behind bars at Broad River Prison in South Carolina. Recent reports from the prison show Christopher in a less than favorable light. He's known to have broken several prison rules and has had many privileges revoked as a result. Tamika's disappearance may have been a tragedy for her family and friends, but in a way, it helped highlight a social issue within the media industry itself. In 2004, when Tamika was declared missing, the media coverage in her hometown was extensive. However, her family had no success in getting her story out nationally. Tamika's disappearance was overshadowed by the cases of Lacey Peterson, Lori Hacking, Jennifer Wilbanks, and Natalie Holloway.
I think a number of years, particularly the cable networks, they found a formula that worked. When they covered these cases like they were soap operas with constant updates and little twists and turns, they saw, people were engaging online, people were tuning into these stories, so that worked for them, and they kept doing it.
It was around 2005 that the term missing white woman syndrome was coined. It referred to the media's extensive coverage of cases involving white women over people of color. Rebecca saw the unfair news coverage and tried to change her approach. Her attempt to bring attention to cases of missing women of color had an impact. Derica, a retired police officer, and his sister-in-law, Natalie Wilson, had noticed the intense fight Tamika's Aunt Rebecca had put up to have her story heard. Inspired by Rebecca and Tamika's story, the Wilson sisters founded the Black and Missing Foundation in 2006. The nonprofit organization aimed to bring awareness to missing persons of color and provide the families of these people with the vital resources and tools to cope through the difficult times. The foundation also worked to educate the minority community on personal safety. To date, they've brought closure to over 300 missing persons cases and have produced a docuseries titled Black and Missing that was inspired by Tamika's case. In 2022, Tamika's story became the focus of a podcast titled Finding Tamika. The podcast is centered around Tamika's disappearance and subsequent murder. In the telling of Tamika's story, the producers included the impact Tamika's case had on the missing women's coverage conversation. It's also helped highlight the invisibility of women of color when it comes to missing persons cases. Following the death of Tamika, her family continued to suffer with her loss. Although her Aunt Rebecca used their family tragedy to help the minority community, Tamika's father, Anthony, never fully recovered from her death. According to Anthony's friend, Mike Fowler, he was a successful man who had a smile that could light up a room. He described Anthony as being driven to find Tamika when she was reported missing. After Tamika's death, Anthony became a shell of his former self. On January 9, 2017, tragedy struck the Houston family once more. Paramedics were called to the home of Anthony Houston. Exactly who had made the call was never made public. He was found dead in the home he shared with his wife, Joanne. He'd suffered a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head. Joanne, too, had been shot and was still alive when emergency services arrived. However, she later died in hospital. The investigation concluded that it was an apparent murder-suicide. Friends close to the couple said there were never any visible signs as to what led to such a tragedy. The couple were the picture of love and devotion. It was clear that no one else would understand what issues they were battling in their personal lives. The impact of Tamika's death was felt in two ways within her family. Her Aunt Rebecca used the tragedy to create awareness and bring about a change, while her father, Anthony, suffered in silence to the very end. It also serves as a reminder to women to be wary of the company they keep. Our case today opens many channels for debate, but here are some things for you, our viewer, to consider. Do you think Tamika's case will have the impact her Aunt Rebecca wants? Do you believe that Christopher Hampton felt any remorse for killing Tamika? Is the missing white woman syndrome trend still a cause for concern in current media trends? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Also, please remember to subscribe to our channel, like and share our videos with like-minded individuals. If you have a true crime story you'd like us to cover, leave us a message in the comment section below. Until next time, stay safe.
Okay, y'all. Y'all just bad. Why y'all acting bad in the doggone comments? Y'all is acting bad. Lolo say, Tiff be changing up sometime as far as her time frames. Yeah, I know, but I gotta see though. You know. I'm gonna see. I do want to try to I do I don't want to do it too early because I know a lot of people be at work, and I don't want to do it too late because still they have to go to work and they got to get rest and stuff like that. So I might do I think I started about 7 something today. So I might try to go around the same time, but I'm gonna post it. I'm gonna put it up in the on my community wall and share it to the people that I can inbox it to when I get it, when I figure it out. Okay, y'all. So right now we about to go to this debate, and y'all let me know because you got some people up in here that's single. You got some people in here that's married. You know, you got some people in here that probably was divorced. So let's see what they talking about. All right, let me share my screen. You're welcome, Ange. We just did a couple of videos. You know, that's a couple of videos. Okay, where you at? Okay, here we go. I'll make sure I got on the right one. You're welcome, Ange. Like a lot of everybody that's pretty much over here be with the whole true crime and a lot of little DV situations. You know, we try to just whatever it is that I play over here, trust and believe, we gonna learn something from it, you know, and man, we just gonna have fun. That's all. And of course, if everybody wasn't at work right now, see, normally the people that'll be up here on this panel with me, you know, like literally, it probably would have took us about 3 hours just to go through those 2 little videos, because they'd be up here acting a whole fool, giving their opinion and everything, but everybody is still at work. They normally be up here and get a little time because, you know, I'm a night owl and they are too. So we finna get this started, y'all.
You not sponsored. They give me a sponsor. I'll put y'all back on the map. Like, you know what I mean? Anyway, man, we got some special guests in the building. Well, let them know where they go follow you. I don't want to. Don't. Do you have a name or, you know, some?
Else, Tasia, either one.
I mean, they took down your old page. You know what I mean? Go follow her new page.
Please don't. Don't.
Next up, who we got?
It's just me, you know. You can follow me on IamGenesis.nyc, and I'm just an overall creative.
Hi, I'm Empress. You can follow me on IG at Empress Kelly 7. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah. Shout out to Els for being the only, you know, other co-host here out here with the merch on, because you know what I'm saying, my other brothers is out here. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. What is that?
It's laundry week, man. I gotta go. You know what I mean? I gotta go to laundry. So I just can't.
You know he that nigga with the doodle stain underwear on two times?
Ooh.
You, my boy, says
laundry day. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
no, that's his favorite scent. No.
Yeah. Niggas got jokes out here. Anyway, before we get into these topics, man, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if y'all not already subscribed, hit that notification bell, man. I need y'all to stay up to date on everything that we got. Now this nigga veneer is about to fall off. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like,
he said it's your favorite scent though, boy. You like spraying it in the crib. Like, come on, my boy. Nah, all right. I'm sorry. Let's start the show. Come on, yeah, I'm ready.
Listen, man. I'm gonna get y'all back. What I said, membership, join the membership. Man, I don't even know what I meant. Join the membership, man. Like, yo, get into this first topic. Why do men face criticism? Don't worry, I'm gonna get Keem. Like, why do men face criticism and backlash for expressing their preferences on women? Oh no, Al, let's go ahead real quick.
I think they only face backlash from the women who don't fit their preference. Me, I really don't. If I'm not a guy's, because you're not going to be everybody's cup of tea. So if I'm not a guy's preference, it is what it is.
Okay, all right. It's because women don't like to take accountability. Everybody knows that, but no one wants to say it. So when a man tells us, I'm looking for this, 10 things, and they only fit 2, they're like, damn, I don't feel whole. So it's like a personal attack, but it's really not personal. You know, there might be some things you got to work on. Just go work on them.
Okay. Empress, what's your thoughts?
I think for the most part, everybody kind of face the same backlash when it comes to preferences, because women share their preferences all the time and they get backlash about it. It's not as harsh, but I do think that I agree with the other 2 ladies for the most part. I do think that some people are just insecure, but for the most part, everybody, you know, have their own, like, you have social awareness or you don't, and I feel like that plays a part.
What's the backlash that women get when they have preferences?
I feel like the number one is like probably short guys or whatever. When women, you know, say like, oh, well, I prefer like a tall guy or whatever, here comes, you know, the, I guess, insults towards women. And now women are being like, you know, objectified for whatever they're lacking or, you know.
Yeah. And I feel that because I'm 5'10" and I don't really get too many tall men. So I feel like I can't even put that on a list of preferences, because it's just like, if I look at all the men that approach me and that talk to me that are available to me, how many of them are over 6 feet? Not that many. So it's like, sometimes
short guys be pulling up to you?
Yeah, short guys love the tallies.
All right, you trying to climb that tree? I heard it.
You know?
That's fair.
Even with the height thing you just brought up though, right? Most women are shorter than men.
Yeah.
So with their preference,
most.
But you know, with them understanding that their requirement is you must be 6 feet, which is, I mean, it's might be asking for something that just not be available for them or unrealistic. Some would say. So I don't think they're getting bashed for having a preference of a man that's taller, but when a man is taller, you're not tall enough. And I think that's what's like, oh, what the fuck is going on here?
Because that's not really something you could work on. Like, her height is your height. Like, what are you gonna do? Like,
I mean,
put on some boots,
nowadays
maybe.
they got
But
options.
men have preferences like that as well. Like, oh, I'm not gonna date a dark skinned woman, or like I literally just saw a status on Facebook where some guy was like, a dark skinned woman can't be nothing but my sister. Like, so it's like,
Damn,
at that point,
that's
not a
something that
preference.
she can't necessarily change either.
That's just colorism,
I think that's the real reason why there's like such immense like backlash with some of male preferences, because I think there's like they're rooted in a lot of stigmas and things that like we're in this generation we're trying to like unlearn some of the cultural like traditions and stuff that we have, or in terms of like dating or like social norms. So I think that's why there's a lot of backlash more so now than like because I feel like a few years ago people weren't even really thinking about the fact that they had preferences. People were just like dating who they were dating and it just was what it was. But like I think there's people paying a lot more attention to certain things and like what they're rooted in, for real, like what
Follow the leader.
Yeah,
I don't remember a couple of years ago. I really don't remember this whole like he got to be he got to make 6 figures, 6 feet. Like guys had to make money, yes, but it wasn't like now there's a motherfucking like a threshold there. Like you got to meet this, and this. You know what I mean? So I think sometimes when women do judge men, it's off of things that normally they can't change. Like y'all talking about their height, their dick size. Like they can't change those things. Like men be asking for women to be in shape, and y'all be like, nah, that's too much. Why should I get in shape for you? And it's like, damn, like, you could just go to the gym. Like, that ain't really that crazy. Like, we want y'all to wear your natural hair more. Why I gotta wear my natural? Like, that's something you could actually do. Like, men can't change their height, so that's why.
Shout out to all y'all wearing your natural hair though. Like,
I appreciate y'all.
Shout out to y'all.
Shout out to y'all.
Yeah, we definitely appreciate that. Like, it don't happen often. This might be the first episode.
Word, that'll be the first one.
The last time Els
no, the
was
whole.
here.
I'm talking about the whole panel.
The last time Els was here.
That was
but they wasn't black. Shout out to them. Hi, y'all.
I mean,
we're
true.
all black
But they still be weaving it up over there too. Y'all.
Yeah,
they here be thin as fuck. I ain't gonna.
They do.
No disrespect.
So I want to ask Ace real quick. Like, why do you think men get so much backlash and face so much criticism for having preferences?
I think I'm at to agree with the ladies on this one. Is like they feel like it's a personal attack on them, and when you take something personal, obviously you're gonna have something to say about it. But everybody got their own preference, and I think that's what people don't understand. That you're not gonna fit everybody's preference. Like you can't please everybody. I mean, even with our show, we seen that we can't please everybody. We try many different things. You just can't please everybody. So I just think if it don't apply, let it fly. Like if it's not for you, it's not for you. So,
I love how people say that and then they don't never like let it fly.
Yeah.
Like, we never let that
fly.
shit fly. Like
Never let it
everybody
fly.
gotta get
It don't
triggered
fly.
by something. Jew, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree pretty much with everybody else. I do want to say that I believe that women feel that way is because they want us to settle for what they have to offer. So they don't want to have to bring change, even if we require it, for a successful relationship. They don't care. I don't want to say they don't care about our happiness, but they feel like if we love them, we should accept them the way they are. And we get kind of stuck in that. Like, because, we would say, let me give a hypothetical situation where, some women may have children and we do love the women that, bear our child, right? But, 2-3 years from now, you're like, hold up, mommy, you still got the baby belly. You know what I'm saying? But we're wrong if we say, maybe we should go, you supposed to love me. And then, I also believe that with women that love men, they tend to settle with a man, even if he gains weight, loses hairline. So they feel like, why should I have to change and do that? And I accept you for looking like the bum you done turned into or whatever, or the unattractive.
What y'all think about that? Tell me y'all thoughts on that.
Attractive man you turn into, so you supposed to love me. And I mean, it may be a flaw.
Yeah, I think it just comes down to like Ace said, does everybody feels personally attacked? Because how many times, you know, I've said it in the most respectful way, like whatever way possible. Like I don't want.
Wait, you said something respectful?
You said it in a respectful way.
Not in a I ain't said it in a disrespectful way.
How you said it? Can we get an example? How you said it? How you said it?
Listen, I've expressed that I don't have kids.
How did you express it though? Like,
I'm kind of damn, you talking too fast. Your veneer's about to fall out. Calm down, my boy. Like damn, like you know what I'm saying. So again, I've expressed
you being
that
around your way. Like I mean, just get to the point, man.
I expressed that I don't have kids, so I prefer not to date women with kids. You know what I mean? I've said it.
But is that how you said it?
I said it just like that. I said it any other way.
I mean, we're gonna look at the clips.
Yeah, we can run it back. Like you know what I'm saying. But I've never been disrespectful. But again, if you look at the comments, the women going, "Oh, you must hate your mother." That's what they always try to say. That's a tactic that women love to use. You must hate your mother because they want you to feel bad about having a preference. You know what I mean? Like so. Again,
and the news is that you got kids yourself too.
I mean, yeah, apparently.
I did hear that in the rumor report.
I got a secret kid out there. Like, I mean,
Who said that?
People on the comments.
They writing on our comments talking about it. We said, shit, what the fuck?
Apparently,
That's his
like,
business.
y'all know, let me know, like, so I could know, like, cause I don't know. But again, so when we have all of these, preferences, and it don't even be that much, it's always met with some type of insult, some type of shame, some type of bashing, some type of critique, and it's like, damn, we got to listen to women complain about their preferences of men for how long now? Like, you know what I mean? We just had to either, we might complain, but we just had to deal with the reality. Like, damn, all right, well, this is what it got to be. Like, if women are attracted to a certain caliber of man, I got to put myself in position. You know what I mean? So we understand that, we don't live in this fairy tale delusional world that we have to go out and get it. Like, so height, you can't, obviously you can't. Actually, you can't. My fault. You do got special surgery for that now. Like, clearly, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
we interviewed one. You know what I'm saying?
You'd be surprised, motherfuckers is out here getting that surgery.
And he doing well too.
Yeah, he went from 5'5" to 6'1".
So that's like a BBL.
Okay,
that's what we said.
Huh?
That's like the equivalent to a BBL.
Yeah.
No, Eli got the BBL for men already. This is something different.
Yo,
what's going on today?
He don't let up.
I'm back.
You recycle, bro. Stop it. Stop it. You recycle other people's jokes. Don't act like, I'm back. You ain't never had jokes. What you talking about? I'm back.
Said that
like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
you said that before.
Come on, bro. None of your jokes is original. You know that. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, people's laughing.
What's
That's
the
what
animosity over here? Like,
I like when people is writers, not biters for themselves and others.
Okay. Nigga that said, what it do, my name, Eli.
I'm biting. I paid homage.
What's that shit on Wild and Out? And he go, on the roof. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I did see that. But so yeah, I think it just comes down to, and Jew, I'm gonna get you too, because y'all niggas over there teaming up, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, nigga got the pineapple fucking hairstyle. Now this nigga got all the jokes. Like,
Shut up, I got some hang time now. I can do different things with my drag besides just let them hang down.
Shout out to you. Like, I mean, so again, I think it just comes down to, like, people just don't want men to have preferences at the end of the day. Like, you know what I mean? That's all it comes down to. Like, you know what I mean? So let me get to this next topic. This one correlates to each other, right? So why do you think so many men, it's like there's pressure for single childless men to be with women with kids? Because when we ask women with kids what their preferences are, they never want to date another man with kids, but they always want, that single man to step up. That's another shame attack that they do. A real man would step up. I'm tired of that. They use that shit all the time. Like, you know what I mean? So what's your thoughts on this, Els?
I think that's delusional, because why should that man forfeit the opportunity to start his own family to help you take care of your kid because you had a baby by the wrong person? And it goes both ways. I will refuse to deal with a man who has a child. I have no kids. I'm not dealing with your child. That's not my child. I'm not dealing with your baby mother. That woman's going to always be around. You're never going to be the only woman in his life. You're never going to come first. So it go both ways.
Yeah, those facts. That's definitely facts. Like, people have their preferences. Like, me personally, I had my first child. I was 20 years old. I got pregnant at 19, and I had my first child when I was 20. So it was just like, when if I'm gonna date somebody, I would definitely want them to have kids. I wouldn't want to date anybody that don't have any kids. Like, to me, that is just weird all the way around. What y'all think? So I could definitely respect her preferences on that. And even if you do have kids, you still could choose not to date a guy who has kids. For real.
Crazy. I feel like people who have no children should only date other people who have no kids, because if you for me, I have no kids, so if I'm dating a man who got a child, I settle. To me, it's the ultimate L.
That's crazy.
I agree. If I'm dating a man that has children, it's probably because I'm like 35, pushing 40. Now
I'm 35. I still won't do
going
it
on myself, and I'm
still won't
desperate
do
to
it.
have a family. Then I'll be settling.
But then even if like you'll be unhappy though.
Yeah, of course.
You'll be unhappy
Because you're not wanting your first choice. That's like choice Z.
You're not gonna
Damn.
the beauty of giving your
Chopper.
husband his firstborn. He done gave that to this whack ass bitch. So
Damn, she a whack ass bitch.
Well, I promised myself that I would not have kids unless I'm married. So if I never get married, I'm not gonna have any kids.
That's a great mentality to have. That's a great
Don't
mentality.
do it. Don't.
So at
Respect
that point,
your eggs.
you know, at that point, I might date a man that has children, but I will never take him seriously and really see him as marriage. Yeah.
Yo, put that on the shirt. But you see how y'all so comfortable saying that, and there's no problem with y'all saying that. But I don't think in bulk men are gonna come into your comments or bash y'all, so you hate your father, or I don't even know what equivalent they could use towards women, but y'all won't get as much pushback from some
Because men
fathers.
applaud,
Like, you know what I mean?
that. Men applaud that.
Yeah, but
But there's also there's a lot more childless men than women. So the majority of women have kids. So when a man says, I refuse to date a woman who has a child, her dating pool gets smaller and smaller the more men say that. I mean, it is what it is.
And it's already small.
Yeah, it's already small. I mean, it is what it is.
What about you? You dating a man with kids?
I would say like I can date. I agree. You know, I can date a man with kids, but as far as how serious it's gonna get, you know, that kind of would depend. Me, I'm the type of person like, you know, in actuality, we have to live within like, you know, what works for us. So like if it's a certain time and it's like, I know I don't want to have kids or something like that. And like, you know, I am willing to take on that type of, you know, situation, then I guess that's what my decision would be. But I don't, I mean, it's nothing against you or your kids, but it's just like, ideally that wouldn't work for me and like, you know, the life that like I want for myself. But I think it depends on the person and, you know, their level of, you know, standards and stuff and what matters more to them, you know.
You said that's your time.
Man, that's my time.
That's her birth control. That's your birth control?
That was my journal time.
Oh,
okay. Shut up the journal
I'm so
time.
sorry.
Not the alarm went off.
That's all good. So why y'all think there's so much pressure on childless men to be with like single mothers?
Like they said, man, the pool is getting smaller, and it's just like a shaming tactic to get men who they want, you know what I mean, who they really want, you know what I mean, to take on that responsibility.
They didn't want them niggas when they didn't have no kids.
I mean,
it's only now.
It's only now that they hit the wall or
That
something.
nigga knocked you up and left you. Now. And the same thing, I'm gonna be honest, the same thing goes for men. You got men who they didn't want a good woman. You was trying to give that dick to everybody. And you knocked up the wrong bitch. And now you want to spin the block.
Yeah.
But you blocked.
But you
Absolutely
blocked.
not.
But I think most men can spin the block. I only say this because when we talk about single mothers, right? Most of the time the child is going to be with the mother. Like, you know, with a guy, like, what, he gonna have his kids on maybe on the weekends. Like, so you're not gonna be able to really worry about that kid on a consistent basis as a man will with a single mother.
Even if he don't have the kid, that woman is still going to be around. You got women that will put that nigga on child support simply because he moved in and he got a new girl. The girl is stressing him out. His baby mom's just stressing him out. Now he taking that out on you. You ain't even do nothing to him. It's a lose-lose either way. I know that most people feel like, well, the child is not always with the man. Okay, but his baby moms get disrespectful. The chances of him checking her slim to none. You want to know why? If he piss her off in any way, shape, or form, she could go right down to the courthouse. or she could keep the kid from him. So he got to kind of walk on eggshells. And then as a woman, you don't respect him because it's like, nigga, why you don't ever check this bitch?
Right.
You know, she gets away with murder, and his response is, that's the mother of my child.
Well, you've been in this situation before.
You said it sound very.
We see
it sound
it.
very
Yeah,
familiar.
nigga.
Like,
Never again.
I mean,
Never again.
He be
I said, you know what?
How
Don't
many
knock
times?
it once.
Oh, one time. All right.
Absolutely not.
He sent you in like a Pokemon to go get his baby.
Miss Lynn, you say you don't mind them having kids, but not small kids. Yeah. It's definitely much easier when they have older kids, like teenagers going into young adulthood, or they already grown. At least for me at this point, you know, like like if I was like back into the dating world, that definitely would be me. Right, you say your girl's grown. Like, yeah, my son, that's my baby. So he'll be 18 in 2 days. Like, that's it. Both of my girls, they already out on their own, doing their own thing. So well, it's a wrap anyway for me. So I wouldn't be back in the dating game anyway. Shoot.
Hey, mom, like, I choose you. Go get it. Like, I'm saying,
Go get what? I'm not no fucking attack dog. You knocked her up, not me.
Okay. So there's a lot of women. There's a lot of girlfriends fighting baby moms for their man.
It's a waste. You want to know why? You could fight her, but she's not going anywhere. They have a kid. Just let him.
Yeah, it's just gonna make the situation.
He put his dick in her. He knocked her up. Let him deal with her and just remove yourself, because that's gonna be an ongoing. Even if you get married, it's gonna be an ongoing headache, and it's not worth it. Unfortunately, you know, kids are permanent. Once they're here, they're here. He has to deal with that. He's gonna have to suffer the consequences of being reckless with his penis. So work it out with Shorty.
And there you have it.
You did say, I know you're very.
And then, like, another point, when you dating somebody, just like you just said about small kids, Miss Lynn, you dating somebody, they got small kids, and you know, it's for some reason it always be you have a current relationship, and then you have this relationship that, you know, y'all probably got a 5-year-old, 6-year-old, you know, they just under the age, I'm just gonna say under the age of 12. You know, it causes I don't know, for some reason it just causes like some type of issues or stuff like that up in a relationship, because I mean, ain't no telling what happened, you know, throughout the time frame that him and the baby mama, you know, and how their relationship is. And you don't know if she just like one of those overly jealous females. She probably want to put her family back, or they probably was in the midst of putting their family back before you came along. And next thing you know, baby mama, she get jealous. She don't want the kid around you and all this and that. Like, it just be too much.
Very vocal about saying that men don't get any benefits from being a step baby daddy.
Well, when I say men, I'm talking about step parents, period. I have to clarify that. Step parents, period, there's no benefit. Stepmother, stepfather, step parents, period, there's no benefit. How would I benefit from helping a nigga raise his kid?
Well, you could walk away from any time. So if you want the experience of having a child and then you want to dip out,
but it's not the same.
You just dip out whenever.
It's the XP and then dip. Like,
I feel like it's not the same because it's not yours. Like, I don't want to hang with this little nigga.
What you did to get out of
Yeah,
here?
like, get out of here. Like, yeah.
I'm here for a good time. And I don't want time.
That's great.
So there's no benefit. I mean,
there's none. Well, how would I benefit? And then, like, okay, if you marry a man and he has a child, right? If he's on child support and he falls behind on his payments, they come in after the wife's money. It's a very big risk. They're gonna come after his. And I know one of my aunts is married. She got kids. Her husband got kids. And they had a joint account. She had to shut that down because they.
Okay, so y'all tell me about that for the ones that's been married and the ones that's been divorced. So is that actually true? Is what she's saying true as far as, you know, once you get married and somebody owed child support, that they would come for the wife's money? You know, if that is the situation, even if the wife may be she could be behind on, women could be behind on child support too. Would they come for the husband money? Yeah, I think it's a way around that. You know what I mean? Like, seriously, you can't say no. I don't agree with that. I love my stepkids and I raised one. It wasn't easy, but I wouldn't change anything. Yep, that's true. That's a fact. But as far as what they talking about now, what y'all think about that? Like, is there some truth to what she's saying? Because I heard that it was some truth to what she's saying right now. I heard that pretty much the same thing as far as what she's saying. But I also heard something else too. Because to me personally, I don't think that that's fair. Even if you have adult children and you behind on any type of child support or whatever, and then you decide to get married, and then now somebody that's just coming up in the picture, they got to take on their debt. Even if the children is already, adults. I don't know, y'all. Let me know. I never been married before, so let me know how true this is.
They was going into the account and taking money. What's the benefit?
Ari also said she would never marry Moneybag Yo because of that same reason.
But why are you with him then?
Cha-ching.
No, she got.
What cha-ching? He got wild kids.
Well, she did. He has to have some type of money. I've seen all the diamonds he be buying her. Something.
How you know it's real?
How you know it's not sponsored? It could be.
I don't know.
It's a sponsor. That's crazy.
It might be. I heard it's very popular.
So, Ju, why you? I mean, it probably is. I ain't gonna hold you. Ju, why you think there's so much pressure on childless men to kind of be with women with kids?
Okay, so you say you don't know about them coming after the wife for child support. Your kid's father, wife, wasn't responsible for paying his child support. Oh, okay. I don't know. Maybe it's different in different states, But I did hear what she was saying, and then I also heard something similar to what you just said, Miss Lynn, because I don't think that that's fair that you choose in love and your account just end up turning to be bankrupt because you didn't took on somebody else's debt. But then again, a lot of stuff ain't fair. So she said they didn't go after her, they went after him. Okay. Cancer say my husband always paid child support, but I was told in my state, California, they can't do that. Oh, okay. All right. So yeah, maybe that's what it is. Maybe, it's more so whatever state, because they do have their own laws.
I would go with the Umar route, but I'm
Nah, say it with your chest.
Nah, I didn't. I was being funny.
Niggas did say Umar got you shook. Like, you know what I'm saying?
They said all of us, all right?
It's specifically you, like, you know what I'm saying?
Like, fuck out here. Them niggas not. Them niggas. Watch your mouth. I was. You see me? I said you. I was in them comments. Tearing them niggas up.
We appreciate you.
It was. Yo, my fault, man. I ain't trying to start no podcast beef or anything, but it was some. What's son that was talking crazy?
Mr. Let Go.
Yeah, Mr. Let Go.
His headline let go a long time.
What he say?
He was talking crazy.
He was talking. I sent that to you too.
Yeah, he was talking.
I was
crazy.
like, sick him.
Who that?
We gonna talk about it after, man.
All right,
if you got something to say, we can talk about it.
Oh, okay.
I ain't never seen Ace get like that. Like,
nigga polished veneer before he said that.
my bodyguard president.
Well, I mean, I agree with basically what Richard just said. You know what I'm saying?
But can you go to Umar route like you said you was gonna go?
Nah.
I would like to hear this.
Yeah,
I would like to hear it too.
Umar say?
Well, he would say that there are, black men need to step up and help the women because it's our fault.
But that's different.
It's
though.
not.
That's different,
It's not. How is it your fault that woman had a baby by the wrong man? Not for nothing. Who's Umar's not a stepfather.
But he would then say, if I'm in Umar's shoes, I would then say, I'm building a school and I'm helping these young black boys.
There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with helping, but helping and raising a child is completely different. It costs hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Okay, sis. Good night. Thanks for coming. I know you got to go to work. I'm surprised you last this long, sis. I'll talk to you tomorrow. I'll call you after you get off.
dollars to raise a child. It's expensive.
Yeah.
Why would I invest hundreds of thousands of dollars into something that will never be mine? That's like paying a car payment, and the car is it's not in your name. It's never going to be in your name. What do you get out of it? Where's the father?
Okay. And he gonna pull up once that kid is successful. Nice. Nigga say, "Oh yeah, I'm your real dad."
Oh no!
Listen,
get you an ET sponsor.
They give me a sponsor. I'll put y'all back.
Dang, I just lost the doggone thing. Where was I at? I hope that's it.
I'm never going to take accountability for nobody's bad decision making. That's just me personally. Y'all could do that. You know what I mean?
Okay. I was sitting up there trying to read your comment. You say, your girls are grown and he's so far behind. He's so far behind and he's still paying child support. He'll be paying until his last breath. I was shocked after they reached 18 and I was still getting child support. Child. Ooh-wee. You got them good. You got them good, Miss Lynn. Cancer say this is why it's important to get to know someone you need to find out what responsibilities a person has before you get too far in a relationship. That's a fact. That is definitely a fact. Ask questions.
But he would then say, if I'm in Umar's shoes, I would then say, well, I'm building a school and I'm helping these young Black boys.
There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with helping, but helping and raising a child is completely different. It costs hundreds of thousands of dollars to raise a child. It's expensive. Why would I invest hundreds of thousands of dollars into something that will never be mine? That's like paying a car payment, and the car is it's not in your name. It's never going to be in your name. What do you get out of it? Where's the father?
Okay. And he gonna pull up once that kid is successful. Nice. Nigga say, "Oh yeah, I'm your real daddy."
Right.
But I do agree with Umar where he said, we do need to step up and help the young brothers in our community. Yeah, that part for sure. But you know what I mean?
But that's two different things.
I'm not gonna be no Captain Saver.
Yeah, but I feel like you can't do something as detrimental as having a child out of wedlock. This is male or female. And then after you make that piss poor decision, right? Then now all of a sudden the community gotta come and help you. Like that doesn't make any sense.
I think that's the tone that was set by, with the government assistance and all that stuff.
But it's not helping. It's just making things worse. I could understand if somebody, like you got people who have multiple kids out of wedlock. It's not like it was a one-time thing. Now you're putting their piss poor decision. You putting the responsibility on the backs of those who are responsible. That's not fair. I, for one, I'm not going to do it.
Let alone you can't even make no decisions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You got all the
a lot of money.
all the responsibility, but no.
No say so.
Yeah.
That is a fact. I mean, like I said, I do agree. We got to do a better job at just helping the Black boys. I do not. Listen,
where's the daddies?
I'm never going to take accountability for nobody's bad decision making. That's just me personally. Y'all could do that. You know what I mean? I just can't. Like, you know what I mean? Because I'm not gonna come to nobody, male or female.
Ooh, child, Castle. You say same to you. Your ex-husband owes you almost $100K. Child, you said where the kids said, grandkids too, and great if it happened. See, y'all good, Lord.
And blame my traumas and say, well, you have to give me great. Nah, I'm gonna do the work myself. Like, you know what I'm saying? So anybody that wants to do it, I don't shame you. That's just not what I don't get into that.
For the kids with deceased parents, yeah. But if your situation is a situation where your mother or father picked an irresponsible person to have a kid by, you on your own.
I mean, it ain't for everybody.
I mean, they ain't gotta be on their own. They could date men with kids, but they don't want to date men. That's the crazy part. I'm gonna be honest. Even when you have two people and they both have kids, the relationship still don't work because you got two people.
What you mean, the Brady Bunch?
No. I'm gonna tell you how. Right? You got two people. Each of them has a child. You have one person. They may raise their child. Their child is well behaved and disciplined. The other one, their child is off the fucking chain. Now, when one person comes to the other person like, hey, your kid is kind of like, when we go out and we try to have family time, your kid be wilding out. You can't tell me nothing about my. It's even people who both have children, when they come together, it still don't work majority of the time. Because you got two people that may raise their children different. And then kids want their biological parents.
Yeah, I agree with that. But some women do allow men to take the role in leadership where they.
But it makes a lot of times it makes the child uncomfortable because that's not my father or that's not my mother, so they don't feel comfortable taking direction from. This is not my. You know what I'm saying? They want their actual parent.
I mean,
it's uncomfortable.
I know situations like I got a couple of friends who taken on that route and they succeeded in it. I mean, I would have to ask him what the benefits is for him. You know what I mean? But
what you mean succeed?
Like they moving forward and getting married and all that good stuff, and he treats them like it's own, and they treat him like their dad or whatever. So that in that situation, it worked out.
It happens sometimes. I'm not gonna hold you.
Yeah,
it does happen.
It definitely happens.
But that will never be his child. That will never be his kid.
But it's all about what the love is. I mean,
But it's 8 billion people on Earth. You could find somebody else to love.
I feel you.
Now,
Has to say, I'll never see any of that money. That man's been running from this for over 38 years. But it's all good because he'll have to answer for his actions. Most definitely, he sure will. Sure will. You just said a lot with that.
Let's be clear.
It ain't gonna work for everybody.
If that situation don't work out,
right?
If they get married and the marriage don't work out, it's a waste of time.
I think the person without a child has more to lose in that situation. I think that's what it really crumbles down to. You have more to lose.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say this again: a lot of motherfuckers still be fucking their baby moms and their baby father. I know of one, but I'm gonna be nice.
Didn't I just say that, y'all? That's how the drama be. Like literally before they decide to just get into a relationship with somebody, and there you go. They are already messing around. You know, the baby mama and the baby daddy, they messing around. Because neither one of them is like literally in nothing very serious. But when they choose to get into something serious, somebody is gonna get mad, get jealous, you know, and then boom, there go the problem. You didn't sit there and walk into something you ain't had no idea, didn't know it was coming. There you go, right there. She just said it.
She definitely she be knowing the
I'ma be
facts. Like, you know what I'm
nice.
saying? Like, I mean, listen, it definitely happens, and it's a responsibility. You gotta be prepared for it, man. It's not for everybody. Definitely ain't for me.
And you can get put on child support for that child as well, even if you didn't sign the birth certificate. It just depends on the judge.
That is true. That is also a fact.
I mean, like if you step in.
If the mother or father, but I'll say mother, if the mother can prove that you took on a father figure type role, even if you didn't sign the birth certificate, depending on what state you live in and depending on the judge that you get in family court, they can make you pay child support for that child.
That's wild.
Sure.
Yeah, I've seen that happen. I've seen men go to jail for that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like not paying child support or having back child support, and that's not even a child type shit. Like,
I don't feel bad for them because you stupid.
My dad was supposed to be paying child support, and he got like his license suspended. He lost his car. He was almost gonna go to jail. So
child support.
Would any of you like
me personally? I'm not a child support type of woman. You know what I mean? Like, I understand situations, you know, as far as with different people. You know, when it comes down to that, believers of child support, non-believers of child support. But I'm a non-believer, you know. Like, just putting that out there like that.
like legally adopt a child like in marriage? Like, okay, I've been in this child life and it's, you know, like you ever see the situation where the child like, I wrote you this letter saying I want you to be my new mommy, my new daddy.
Yeah,
and
I've seen that.
And you know, I see a lot of people take that it's still a risk to me in my eyes. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you mean like an orphanage? Like
no, like they're in a relationship. Yeah, you
legally adopt your stepchild. Who?
Oh, you mean legal? Oh,
even
okay.
Even Marcel's husband did that. Yeah, but he's an idiot.
But she violated.
He's an idiot.
So if I get married, that's not the same thing. Right?
Well, I guess you're saying if you marry someone who has a child.
Yeah.
I would never marry a nigga with a kid, so that don't apply to me.
Well, they do it separately too. I've seen situations where people
because
you legally switch the kid name. The kid name doesn't change to the married name.
Right,
when you adopt them, it then changes to the new father's name or the new mother's name. However y'all do it, I don't know.
Yeah, I gotta look at
But Eva did this shit recently, and now she left the dude, and now she taking him to child support.
After he legally adopted her first child, which is not his.
Do this sound familiar to y'all? But whoever is left up in the chat, do this sound familiar to y'all? Just let me know. With that whole adoption. Oh my God, the whole adoption stuff. Because we already knew that woman, and y'all know who I'm talking about, that woman, she wanted her husband to adopt them kids. Boy, I think, see, she was plotting and planning. Wow.
Yeah, and it's Kevin McCall's child.
daughter.
So,
That little
I
girl
mean,
look just like him.
I hate to be messy, but yeah, that shit crazy.
The nigga that wrote Deuces?
Yeah.
Oh damn.
It's his kid. And he been fighting
I
for
was
his
gonna
kid
make a
too.
Deuces joke, but
that's
I
my
ain't want to
thing.
do that.
Like why would you even let this man adopt her? That's not her daddy. The man, like
that man, I've watched him fight for his. I don't know about his sanity, and they question all that other shit. But I know he's adamant about being in his daughter's life. So I don't know how everything else is.
Yeah.
And then she did it. She did it spitefully.
Yeah. I mean, you adopted another man's child.
But he should have. But see, he didn't. I don't think that man had any children.
He should have said no and
But what I'm
respected
saying
that.
is he had no kids.
Yeah, you remember Miss Lynn? She was trying to get that money. What he say up in that video? You ain't finna take all my money, boy. Because he already knew that they already was into it. He already didn't. He was just done with the whole relationship from the get-go. Even without her even knowing. I'm pretty sure he didn't say it several times, and just throwing out little hints like, I'm up out of here. I'm finna go. I'm done with this. And here she come talking some adopting her kid. Like, what I look like? Boo-boo the fool? No. It was so crazy. Why would you want him to adopt your kids if they father's so active up in their life? And I'm just leave that right there.
And instead of going and finding a woman with no kids, he decided to get with a woman who had a child.
Well, he got the penalty.
But that's what I'm saying.
He got a kid now.
Yeah.
And
That's crazy. And that's another thing too. Sometimes, women, they don't want to have more kids. So now you on dating a woman long term seriously, and she like, nah, I want no more kids.
But then I don't knock her because why would you want to have kids by different men, and vice versa?
I'm saying for the man, he can't even get his own lineage out of that now. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Go find somebody who don't have a child and start your own bloodline from scratch. Why are you trying to come on top of the nut this nigga busted and put your nut on top of his nuts? There's a lot of nuts going on.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Whole lot of nuts.
That's
true though.
Go make your own family.
Ladies and gentlemen, you know what I'm saying?
Go make your own family. Like, I don't understand.
Listen, man, whatever floats your boat, man.
Yeah.
Right. She ain't want to put their daddy on there, but you want to turn around and put him on there. No. He gonna pay for the one that he is solely responsible for, bringing into this earth. Like, seriously. I mean, that's just crazy to me. Oh, Lord. I ain't gonna get into that right now.
Me as a person that have children, I would never have, like, even though I'm not questioning my relationship, I'm just saying I would never, God forbid, if my relationship wasn't successful.
And I didn't know you was still here, girl. I don't even know who all in the chat. I only think Miss Lynn and Cancer. But I'm about to get back into it.
20 years from now, 10 years from now, I would never have a child with another woman.
Yeah, and have siblings sometimes it just have kids by one person, and if the relationship don't work out, you need to just shut down the fact.
You also are a person who said that you would get a vasectomy. Like,
shout out to you.
I am considering doing that if I get some medical insurance that help me out, because a nigga can't afford that type of shit. I will get it done because. And it's not that I question my pullout game. I question her eggs being thirsty. Shout out to my lady. Her eggs is thirsty. That's all. You know what I'm saying?
That's what niggas always say when they don't.
I know Sweet Mom. She live over there. I know everybody went to go show her some love. It's her birthday. But I already didn't get through this video, so I'm not gonna just cut it off like that. I know y'all over there at the celebration.
Y'all niggas keep blaming it on a nigga. Women eggs be thirsty too. That's all I gotta
This nigga
say.
be coming inside him like,
Nigga
yeah,
said,
nah, they ain't thirsty.
I'll
Like,
question
you know what
my
I'm
pull
saying?
out
Like,
game
yo.
6 kids later.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Listen, let me get to this next topic. Yo, hit that like button, man. Everybody hit that like button. Take 2 seconds. It really helps us out. I know YouTube be hating on us. And hit that notification bell, man. Subscribe. Listen, I do got to get into this. We the panel is supposed to be a whole different panel. Like,
I mean, yeah, she do. Like, I can see why she don't want no kids though. Because you can't be selfish and you turn around and be wanting kids. Like, that's why she said she don't have no kids and she ain't trying to date nobody with kids. It's like she don't have the tolerance for it. You could tell. She wouldn't be able to have tolerance for any children.
like, you know what I mean? So a lot of the topics that we had a special person I was gonna pull up. You know what I mean? They didn't pull up. But I do want to talk about what is a high value man. And obviously I know this is a topic that probably been ran into the ground, but it kind of correlated to everything we were saying, because I'll give you out a backstory. You're supposed to have a gentleman who's on the show, who's on the OWN network. And he has said he made a preference about,
shout out to him,
because he is a high value man. He doesn't want to date a woman that has kids. And boy, did that clip go viral.
Shorty feelings was hurt. What a
that
loser.
clip went viral like crazy. The women in that comments was going off on him.
The women on the show was going off.
The women on the show also.
Yeah, he has no kids. He has no kids. What would be the benefit in him investing in her and her kid that's not his kid? He was absolutely right. Just because he was raised by, like, I was raised by a single mother, but I don't want to be one. I want to be better than my mother, and I was raised to be better. So because my mother was a single mother, I should go be one. So that's so.
Imagine a nigga using that against the woman.
So
like,
look,
yo,
if your mom's a crackhead, you should go do crack too. She's an idiot. That makes no sense. You're supposed to be better than your
I'm gonna use that one. Like,
I don't think it's gonna work out the same for you.
That makes no sense.
I'm gonna still use it. Like, you know what I'm saying?
And
like,
as a parent, right, you have kids. I'm pretty sure you want your kids to be better than you.
Of course. 100%.
Thank you.
Now, but that's like this nigga saying like, oh well, your mom was a single mother, so you got to be a single. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna leave you and you be a single mother. Like, your mom did it, you could do it. Like, come on, it's like you just.
She made it work.
Yeah,
my mama made it work.
She was in her feelings. You could just go back to the man you had a baby by and make it work.
And she had a dude on the show. Somebody took her on that show. But what do y'all consider a high value man? Because we have all these different terms, and
I'm gonna go last.
And everybody seems to have their own different, definition of a high value man. To y'all, what's a high value man?
A unicorn.
A unicorn?
I mean,
You talking about Porzingis? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Well, this is the thing. I wrote down a list of everything that I would possibly want in a man. And I know that if I gave it to my brother, shout out to my brother, you know him.
Yeah, shout out
if I gave it to my brother, he'd be like, half of that is unrealistic. So it's just like, it's a unicorn. Like, in my mind, the high value man is a unicorn. Because
what's the unrealistic part?
Like, I would like a man that's got to be like 6'1", 6'3", single, no kids, never married, makes over 6 figures.
That is the unrealistic part.
Which part? She named
over 6 figures, because that right there is what would shrink her pool.
The height alone might shrink
everything
the
would be
pool.
shrink. And he's black or Hispanic. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that pool is pretty. That pool
most,
is.
you know what I mean? So you have to like figure out what your non-negotiables are and what are things that you can like.
I think the height, because statistically
You're
speaking,
tall,
I think
so
no, but I'm saying just in America, I think the percentage of men who are actually over 6 feet is like 15 to 17% of the male population.
Yeah, the average height for men is like 5'8", 5'9".
Yeah, that's the average height. We didn't even get to the finances, like you said. So now, like that, it goes lower and lower.
In the race,
you know what I mean? And then again, those men are going to have the bulk of options. They could choose.
But you know what's funny? I haven't had a problem meeting men that had a good salary. Like 80 plus, I feel like that's a good salary.
Okay.
So I haven't had a problem meeting. It's the height for real. And then I also feel like there's a lot of people who have been in other relationships. This is New York City. This is a fast city. And when you date, then you have heartbreak. You got to get over it. So I've met a lot of people who've had everything else, but then they were just emotionally unavailable. So it's just like you have to think about that too. Yeah. What people's traumas are.
Does that make you high value too? Your emotional intelligence, is that?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Absolutely. For sure.
That's number one.
Yeah.
For
me, I think that's number one, because something that I value at the most in my life is like my self-awareness and my emotional intelligence. Like, that's key to me. I think a lot of people don't have self-awareness, and I think that that's why you know, there are these projections of our traumas and insecurities in like society. And I think that's why men, you know, have the pressures to date, you know, women with kids and vice versa. And all of those, you know, like I think all of that stems from a lack of self-awareness. You know, when you have a certain, you know, confidence in yourself and a certain awareness of yourself, you know, where you understand your flaws and your traumas and how that affects you and how to, you know, combat that and even move forward and past that, you know, in relationships with other people. I think that is the key to really everything, because I think everything is mental. So for me, that's like number one, because your mentality is going to shape everything else. Basically, like if you have that, you everything else, you know, eventually will fall in line, because you're not ever going to get everything. So, you know, everything is a give and take anyway. So, you know, certain things are at the, you know, the bottom of my list, but at the top, I would definitely say is like, you know, mental and emotional stability, and like even just competence, because, you know, everybody is not necessarily stable, but, you know, having the competence to know that you're trying to reach a certain stability, you know, it counts for something too for me. And then, you know, finances and stuff like that also do matter. But I'm not that much with like, I don't want to say materialistic stuff, but for me, things are more like spiritual and emotional, because, you know, like that's just the basis of like how I value certain things in my personal life. So,
I mean, just that thought process is, you know, meant to be grateful for, you know, even to hear, you know what I'm saying? So
because you didn't start off with finances, like, you know what I mean? Like that was important to you, but you know, you prioritize other things else. Well, so what's the high value man?
For me, I feel like a high value man is a man that's submitted to God. It don't have nothing to do with money at all.
Okay,
that's it.
That's first and foremost. If he's not submitted to God, he's gonna fail in every other area of his life, or he's gonna lack.
Okay.
If he's not submitted to God, he's incapable of leading me.
Listen,
He's
shout out to all my church people, but not everybody that's going to church and submitted to God, that don't automatically make you a good person.
I never said that though. So I know a lot of people that.
That's a fact, Miss Lynn. Miss Lynn said it's okay to have a preference, because I definitely have one. But to me, they are too picky, because you would never get all that in one man. And I don't think you would get all that up in women either. You know, we are human. You know, we're gonna make mistakes. People have flaws. Everybody have some type of flaw, you know. So yeah, it's definitely gonna be a work in progress. I couldn't imagine having a perfect man. I'll probably lose my mind.
People that go to church out of habit.
Yeah.
Going to church doesn't mean you have a relationship with God. Going to church is going to church. That doesn't necessarily mean you have a relationship with God. I'm talking about a man that is being submitted to God, and he's trying to be obedient.
Church is a business.
Yeah,
but
most
tax deductible.
So when I think about a man being high value, that is first and foremost. His income means nothing, because he could be rich and be a heathen. Or it's a lot of rich niggas that slow.
Yeah, Miss Lynn, I'll be like, Lord, I'm like, you ain't never did nothing wrong. You ain't told not one small lie. Who are you, Jesus? Look, I'm intimidated already. This ain't gonna work. You ain't did nothing. Like, you got everything. And you completely perfect. You could never do nothing wrong, child. And I'm human.
Sluts.
A lot of them, because they could afford it.
I work with a lot of niggas that get to the bag and they complete whores. Shout out to my coworkers. But you know, that's the truth of it. So if he's not I'm gonna be honest, where I'm at now, if he's not submitted to God, I don't want him.
Okay.
You be like, you ain't never stole a piece of gum by accident. Have it up in your hand and you forgot it was in your hand and end up walking around the stove. Like, you ain't did nothing, child. Like, oh my God, I can't.
I'm
well,
only
trying.
I am only saying that because I don't even want to put your church niggas on the spot.
Go ahead, please do.
I ain't gonna do that. I mean,
some of them be zesty.
Yeah. Nah, I ain't say nothing. I ain't say nothing about it.
Miss Lynn, he could be a millionaire and all that. I probably can deal with anybody except for a perfect person. Oh no, we can't be friends. We cannot be friends. We won't have nothing in common. Nothing in common. You ain't never got suspended. Oh my God, you never had a fight? Oh no. You ain't never said your mama to anybody when you was a kid?
About that, I'm just saying.
Some of them do.
Some of them be submitted, and you know what I mean?
They don't be, then they're not submitted. They're not submitted.
Yeah.
I hate. No, I'm leaving it alone too because I've. No, yeah, I'm not even.
Niggas gonna
being
throw some holy water.
To God don't got nothing to do with going to church. I feel like people get that mixed up.
I'm gonna just say this in other words: the top ranked dude there be passing them panties around.
Then he's not submitted to God. He's not.
But he leading the whole ministry or what you call congregation.
That doesn't mean he's submitted to God. If he's submitted to God, you're gonna.
But what I'm saying, if he's not submitted to God, but he's leading this whole ministry, what's to say about that whole ministry?
He's gonna lead them down the wrong path because he's not even on the right path.
But how do you know he on that right path?
How do you know?
Yeah.
You'll know. You'll know
when you're submitted.
You'll know.
Okay.
You'll know when you find out that your pastor is laying down with men. He's not submitted.
But before you find, but before you find that out,
the truth always comes out. So it's gonna come out eventually.
But
you're gonna know.
You find that out. You going to church every Sunday listening to this man.
But
when you go to church, you're not going for the pastor. That's not who you're going for. Yeah,
your own submission.
Yeah,
that you're going to either hear the word or I'm not a firm believer in
Nah, you definitely right about that, Cancer. She said, if a man claims to be perfect, red flag, triple them up. Because they some narc. Yeah. Something ain't right up in that dome. Something ain't right with that. Run. Where Miss Sexy at? Miss Sexy, she gonna run, honey. Yes, run. Fast as you can. Miss Lynn say, if such a man existed, I wouldn't want him. Child. You already got some that know they ain't perfect, but they try, but they can't because they got them flaws too. Even women, the same thing for women. Shoot, yeah, you better run fast as you can. Don't look back. Do not collect $200. Do not pass go.
Like you have to go to church to have a relationship with God. No. I am a spiritual person. I have my own personal relationship with God. Mm-hmm. Now, what I go to church for is if I want to hear the music, if I'm going to hear the word. He's doing his job and preaching to me, and that's all that I really need. And if he's not doing a good job at that, then that also goes to show some other stuff. But
I do understand what you're saying.
To hear just the word. So like, again, your submission is like the steps that you take, personally, like, and what that means to you on the inside, not like, on the outside, on the surface level of like what everybody else is looking at, like, because at the end of the day, the people are going to do what they're going to do. But it's like, I'm not here for the pastor and I'm not here for the rest of my congregation. I'm here for me. I'm here to either hear the word and listen to the gospel.
I would say that, but what you require, right? Mm-hmm. I think it's really hard to find.
I know it is.
And
I'm not delusional.
That's because I'm God-fearing, right? Mm-hmm. And I believe in God. Mm-hmm. But there's so many people that may believe, but, they do different things. It's just so hard to, genuinely. I'm
gonna be honest, it is hard. I'm not there yet. Mm-hmm. I'm not all the way there. I almost knocked a bitch out. I'm not all the way there yet, but he working on me. He working on me, but I'm not. But I'm trying, and it's very, very, very.
That might be even lower than her list.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
Too. So it's very hard, but that's the first requirement. Above anything else, that has to come first, because if that man is supposed to lead me, how can I submit to you if you're not submitted to who you supposed to be submitted to?
Yeah, great point.
So you would never be with a man that's like atheist and doesn't believe in nothing.
Girl, no, absolutely not. I won't even date outside my faith. Catholics, Muslims, absolutely no. No, shout out to y'all, but no. Because, right, I personally don't want kids. But if I was to have kids, right, if we don't have the same faith, we're going to cause confusion in the kid. I can't be telling the kid about Jesus and you talking about mom. Who that?
Yeah, I had
That's his successor.
I knew somebody that had an issue with that.
Who? Absolutely not.
You know,
Muhammad and Jesus not the same.
No, they're not the same, but I see it as, connected. They're like brothers. You feel me? Like
Muhammad's not even in the Bible. So for me, I couldn't marry someone who doesn't have the same faith because we're gonna bump. We're gonna bump
his guy. Like
no. I don't know who that is. Whoever his guy. I don't know who that is.
Don't we have the same God?
No, I mean different religions. That's
different
God.
religions don't got the same God.
Yeah, no.
So what God do Muslims believe in?
They don't believe. They don't believe that Jesus is the Son of God.
In Spanish,
Allah means God in Arabic, but they don't believe in the same God that Christians do. They don't believe that Jesus is the Son of God.
They still submit to their God, right?
I need someone who's submitted to the God that I get on my knees and pray to. Because if not,
I could understand that.
Because if not, we're not equally yoked.
And I agree with her 100% on it. Because first of all, and I'm not knocking nobody, spirituality or nothing like that. But when it comes down to Christians, you know what I mean? We're thinking more of a spiritual God. We're not talking about no human gods. Jeez. What's so hard to know the difference between it of being a Christian and a Muslim?
Yoked, and if we get married at some point, we're gonna bump heads. If we have kids, we're really gonna bump heads because the kid is gonna be confused. I can't be taking them to church and you taking them to the mosque. It's not gonna work.
And there's different rules in different religions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, like Muslims, they can have multiple wives,
And that ain't never happening over here.
And
never.
See, her faith is different. So
Remember, we know somebody that's going. I'm gonna leave that on.
Wait, who? Yeah, we talk about that after. Like, yeah, I think religion and politics is two non-negotiables.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard for your relationship.
Yeah. So, what do y'all define as like a high value man?
Okay. I would say somebody that's confident, a leader, protector of his family, intelligent, teacher. I value. Yeah, it comes down to providing, so finances as well. You know what I mean? But somebody that just puts his family before himself. That's a high value.
Oh, great point. Great point.
Does he have to have sexual discipline? This high value man?
What you mean by that?
Yeah.
Be okay.
You mean like cheating? That's what you're talking about?
Is he capable of? He has to have sexual discipline.
Yeah. I mean, if that's his religion, you know what I mean, then
He gotta be able to turn the coochie down.
I mean, but it depends on who he.
That's a westernized thing, though. Like that. Men across the globe is getting coochie all over the place, and they submit to God.
They're not.
Not
You have to You have to have sexual discipline.
The women agree with that. If your woman agrees with it, how's that?
Like, say for instance, right? Say if I was dumb enough to agree with a man being with anyone other than moi, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't get to make the rules. He make the rules. So if he says you can only have one man, one woman, then it is. I don't get to make the rules.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to argue.
It's hard, because some people.
Shout out to him.
I'm saying, aren't they blessed to have multiple wives?
No, that's adultery. That's adultery.
Like I said, it depends
on different religions.
It depends on the religion.
Yeah, I don't think none of us is that versed in religion.
Yeah,
outside of
so,
you know what I'm saying?
I mean, she versed in her religion. But like I said, other religions. I mean, there's.
That's why y'all niggas flocking to Islam, because y'all want multiple.
Nah,
that's not why.
That's one of the reasons why I think.
You think so?
If I'm being honest, yes.
That's absolutely.
I gotta.
Niggas go to jail and they come out and all of a sudden they go in the mosque.
Yeah.
Like, nigga.
And
I think it's more of a protection thing.
Yeah.
You know,
in jail, yeah.
In jail.
Yeah.
Then that means you would do away with it when you get out, but a lot of times they stick to it when they get out.
And I'm not. First of all, look,
you
can start something for the wrong reason.
We're not questioning people's religion. So I want people to understand that we are making comments, but I want you to understand that we're not questioning or judging your religion or your faith.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah. And I think when it comes to being Muslim, it's more than just having multiple. You have to take care of these women.
Yes,
like that
that's
part.
the thing.
You
They're
have to like
scared, and
niggas
they
like that
forget
part. Like,
part
I
as
got
well.
4 bitches.
But they're
yeah, but you got to
scared
take care.
still.
You can't just have them. You have to take care of them.
And you have to love them equally as well.
You can only have more than one wife if the first wife agrees. A lot of people don't know that. They open their Quran and flip past some pages.
They do miss past that. I went on a date one time during Ramadan with this Muslim guy. The check came. He was like, "So we splitting this?" I was like, "During Ramadan? And you're a Muslim man?
Haram.
Ain't you not supposed to be eating though? Like,
It was like 8 p.m. So he said he could eat after that.
Oh,
You know, it was
okay.
dinner time. I put on my jacket and I left. I was like, "Oh my God," I was shocked.
So you ain't gonna have?
Huh?
You didn't go have?
No.
Oh, okay. All right.
Why would I do that? It's his religion.
Wait, but ain't that for that's for like married when you married though. Like
He invited you. He invited you on a date.
The man,
Is he
what
gonna
you
be
get
there?
while you date is gonna be the same man you're gonna get when you married.
He asked you out.
Because you're setting a
Great point.
You think I would ask him out?
You're right. You're right.
Wait, talking about we don't have that same energy. We also got the same energy for the women who talk about they ain't gonna do wife things until they wife. Like, yo, they gonna change
Great
automatically
point.
Okay,
when they get married.
A wife
Like,
thing is giving a man a baby. Cooking and cleaning is not wife duties. You do that regardless of whether you're in a relationship or not. Now, giving that nigga a baby, that's wife duties. And
But
if you didn't-
me providing is husband duties, correct?
Yeah.
So why should I have to do that in a relationship?
Well, it depends.
I don't mind doing that.
wow.
First of all, for y'all go at me in the comments like my name Wolf
I
or
don't
some
think
shit.
you go to the full extent of providing.
Yeah, you're
Shout
not
out to Wolf,
fully
man.
providing.
It's not fully.
Lunch.
Yeah, fully
and
provided.
dinner,
You don't do that
you
until
know,
you
that's bare
until you're
minimum.
married. You cannot give somebody everything prior because
Yeah.
then it's like, what would be the point of getting married? Is limits.
So you shouldn't be paying their bills if y'all dating.
No, why? Why would you be paying her bills? Y'all not. That's not your wife.
Okay.
And even if that is your wife, tell that bitch what it's wrong.
Word. Shout out to Els.
yeah, we just Els got to be a regular. I ain't gonna. Like, she got to say all the stuff that I can't say because they gonna say I hate my mother and all this other shit. Like, you know what I'm saying?
They're gonna feel how they
I be lighting them hoes up in the comments. They hate me. I be lighting them hoes.
They
hate him too.
They hate.
I think
that's why you're on that side.
Yeah, that's why you're on that side. But I think just to go back, I think to go back to the this is the keeping the real side. That's the pandering side over there. The Dr. Umar got me shook side. Like, you know what I'm saying? But, listen, I think just to go back to the topic, I think a high quality man or high value man is a man with integrity. Like you said, emotional intelligence. That's important. Man with confidence. Man that demands respect from his peers, from others. Obviously, financial stability plays a role in there.
Masculine.
A man who's in his masculine, his frame, his purpose. I do think when we do tend to talk about this word, or when we hear this word, it is usually referred to the amount of a man's earning potential. You know what I mean? So that's what most women will look at a high value man as, oh, well, he's making the 6 figures. You know what I mean? He must be high value because he's earning so much money. So I don't think people really fully understand the breakdown. And even we probably don't even know the full breakdown. I know Kevin Samuels had his own definition. You go to somebody else, they got their own definition. Yeah. So
but it's refreshing to hear that y'all definitions didn't automatically go to finances when it came to high value.
You know where I be getting my bags from. I'm not.
But finances is important. I want a woman that's concerned about finances. I want you to be aware of how much I'm making and, you know, not literally like pressuring me, beating my ass over how much money I have.
Yes, finances is very important. Very, very important. It is for a lot of different reasons.
But, you know, I want you to
finances is important, but again, when you put that on a pedestal, you tend to overlook other aspects of a man.
But when you hear women say, "Oh, a high value man is a man making 6 figures," like they don't give a fuck what else comes with that.
They'll tolerate the other shit. Like,
they're not even dating those men.
You can have a lot of money and be low value. Your income and your character don't got nothing to do with each other. A man can make a lot of money and be beating your ass.
And most of the time.
A lot of times they say they ain't got no personality. They just like boring and shit. Like, so I mean, so value is
she'll get with a man that got bread, right? She gonna fuck a nigga that work at White Castles.
White Castle's crazy.
I mean,
at least Popeyes. You know what I'm saying?
Chick-fil-A.
Give me a crave case anytime compared to what you gonna go through and what you gonna have to go through with that 6-figure dude. Crave case with cheese, please. Let me have a small fry and a Diet Coke. I'll take that to go.
What?
Anybody eating that shit? Like,
So I mean,
crazy.
Or Chick-fil-A,
no, if she's only there for the money, and then I feel like women need to have their own money as well, because if you get married, right? If your husband gets sick and he can't work, you gotta help. You have to pay the bills now. You can't always focus on his money because he may have it, he may not. Things happen.
Your money should be saved so we can have some for retirement.
Yes.
If we not using your money,
Well, if he gets hurt at work and y'all got a mortgage to pay,
well, just think about it. Like, come on now, you're gonna go through some things with them 6 figures. I mean, not only with him, you're gonna have to might end up changing your whole personality, because that just means he hangs around folks that have the same financial stability as he do. So it's just like, oh, what the hell? Look, I'm just gonna stay with my level at this point. I want to be comfortable. That's it, comfortable. No new friends.
you have to step up and pay the mortgage now.
It's
If
not
that
even
man
your
get
money no more.
cancer
It's
or
our
he
money.
gets sick, you can't be over his hospital bed. When the fuck you gonna get up and go to work? That doesn't it doesn't work that way.
The most mind-boggling video I seen about this was they asked a woman if her husband had got sick, what would she do? And she was like, "I'll just give me." Yeah, she said, "I'll give me another husband." And niggas was like, "Wait, what? Your husband is sick? Yeah, I'll just give me another husband." And I'm like, "Damn, that's how quick we are to throw people like for sicker or for worse, like none of for richer or for poor. None of those vows really mean they don't hold no weight. We just say it just because we gotta say it just to say I do, but they don't really hold no weight in marriages. Like, you know?
I seen that.
But men, I'm gonna be honest, men, right? A lot of men. Kim Kardashian has been married 3 times. Jada Pinkett.
There's only 3 times?
3. Kanye was her 3rd husband. Kim Kardashian has been married. Jada Pinkett has been married. Amber Rose has been married. Gabrielle Union. None of these women are marriage material. Men have a tendency. I don't know what it is. Y'all be thinking y'all magicians and that y'all can turn a hoe into a housewife, and it doesn't work that way.
Say this all the time. Tell them out.
It doesn't work that way. And then I'm gonna be honest. Niggas will get the worst type of woman, and you've been warned about her, but you go thinking that you could save her, and you wife her anyway. And then when everything that you were warned about comes to pass, now you want to get on a podcast complaining about how all women ain't shit. No, you've been dealing with. Your Mima told you that girl was a floozy, but you didn't want to listen. Now you in your feelings like, nah, it doesn't work that way.
I mean, honestly, in my Umar voice, you should have grace and show that man some grace.
You wildin'. Like, I look like a great. I look like I got
God. God will show.
I got a little bit of that.
You gotta give that man grace. Like, you know what I'm saying? He been through a lot. He been through his traumas, but you gotta work with that man. Like,
He ain't say that. He said you gotta work with her. Like,
Yeah,
he say that we.
I mean, but I gotta, I had to be.
So you don't expect nobody to show you grace?
I'm not. I don't feel like I'm entitled to it. If that man decides to show me grace, great. If he doesn't have to. Well, if I make a bad decision, that's not the next man's problem.
Oh shit! Can we clip this?
It's consequences.
That's not the next man's problem.
Definitely will.
That's not the next man's problem. Like if you out here and you picking females who are smashing their baby daddies in your crib or sleeping with your coworkers. I'm not gonna call no names.
But it's not a lot of options, so that's why she got to stay with that person.
This is the thing. People, and I'm gonna say this because people have this thing where if you're single, they throw it at you. Oh, that's why you ain't got no man, or you ain't got no woman, as if it's an insult. I sleep very well at night knowing I'm not getting cheated on. I know a lot of people who are in relationships, but they're not happy. But they're in relationships just so they can say that they have somebody, or they're in relationships because they're comfortable, but they're not happy. There's nothing wrong with being alone. It's better to be alone than to be with someone and they're the wrong person, because you're not doing anything but wasting time. And then after 5, 10, 15 years, you look back and be like, damn, I should have left 10 years ago. You don't waste all this time with somebody you knew you should have been left.
Yeah, I just want to reiterate that. Yo, this nigga Jew turned into Dr. Jumar Johnson over there. Like, yo, put that in the comments, Dr. Jumar Johnson. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
there's nothing wrong with being. It's better to be single than to be divorced. There's nothing
I understand what you're saying, but I do believe there's a person for somebody, and I want
for everybody.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're a person that deserves the right person. I know you personally. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, nigga, where I'ma find that nigga? You know that nigga?
He is somewhere.
Where?
Yo, where you at? You in the comments right now?
Damn, niggas can't even hit you up because you like, don't hit me up. Like, where the fuck are they gonna find you in?
She don't be outside. She don't be outside.
Where would quality men find? That's what I'm saying.
I was giving God some praise.
But I'm saying, where would quality men find you?
I don't
realistically.
Okay.
You don't want to be found?
the majority of men are not faithful. Like
I'm asking you some
All right,
questions.
so what about the
The
faithful ones?
quality
I don't know.
men.
Listen,
Where can they find
Where
you?
can you be found?
Primark in Valley Stream just opened up. Probably
Shout
Walmart,
out to
Target.
Primark, too.
You know what I'm saying?
Church.
I don't go to church for that. That's crazy. I don't go to church.
I
for
mean,
that.
you're not gonna go there for that, but I'm saying if you're there, you know what I mean, and somebody.
After service.
Nah, I wouldn't go to church to find no man.
If it happens,
But don't they have
it
like
happens.
ministries? What is it called? Like, don't they have people that
My church don't do that foolishness.
They don't hook people up. Like,
That's not their place.
The
That's
fuck?
not.
It's
That's
not?
not. No, you're
That's
not.
true.
churches,
That's
they
more
have-
like the
they have
Jewish
stuff like
religion.
that.
The Jewish religion, they have like
nah, churches definitely
Those
have.
church, they're not supposed to do that. That's
What, they
not
got
their
date
place.
nights? They
These are
try
Christian
to.
mingle.
Nah, they try to.
Christian mingle? Like, what the fuck?
They're not
The
supposed-
pastor tries to put
They're
you.
not supposed to do that. That is not their place.
They're not supposed to do that?
No, you're not supposed to do that.
You got like them nosy. Like,
What kind of church they been going to? Y'all haven't heard of that? A church trying to basically having a dating service. I ain't never heard of that. I don't know. That's no.
he like, no, I mean, people that go to church, like, I mean, she be good for you, son. Like, like, but you ain't supposed to be in there. Like,
she eating glizzies after service.
It's definitely called something. I'm gonna look it up, but they do be having.
They're
those
not
in churches,
supposed to do that though.
so you said holla at you after service, though. That's what you said.
If it happens, it happens. I'm not. It's not my place to look. It's no woman's place to look.
But you would have to remove something though.
What?
That mindset of thinking that all men cheat.
I never said all. I never said all.
You said most. So
But
I mean,
that's true though.
And you already got a mindset that you ain't gonna find the.
I never said that I wouldn't. I just said I understand that the chances are very slim. That's just the truth of it. Like if you wanted to find a black woman that don't got no kids, you understand that because of the amount that it's possible, but you understand that it's very slim. It's a slim chance.
Okay, good. Cause I know I'm not crazy. I ain't never heard of that a day in my life. And my mama kept me in the church. I came up in the church, so never heard of that one. But you right, Miss Lynn. You wouldn't be surprised. You can't be surprised about nothing no more. Nothing at all.
Chance. I'm not saying it's impossible,
Yeah.
but I'm realistic. I know that it's a very slim chance.
All right, but you gotta be more open. I think you real closed off.
Yeah.
I mean, I think if I just eliminate Trinis from the dating pool,
This is what I'm talking about right here, man. This is what I'm talking about right here. Man.
If I eliminate Trinidadians or West Indians, period, I might have a chance.
Wow. Yo, I'm West Indian and I don't cheat.
I love
all right?
y'all.
So I don't know what she talking about right now.
When Caribbean niggas get in a real relationship,
Trinis?
they don't cheat.
Trinis? That red flag is a red flag.
That's bars.
That red flag
That's
is a
bars.
red
That's
flag.
Like, damn.
Yo, shout out to the trees out there. You know we don't cheat out.
Nigga trying to make it sound
People have a
believable.
shirt, Trinis don't cheat.
Trinis don't cheat, man. Daily wrap up cool that cool.
We gotta put that up there. Listen, how much time we got left? All right, let me get to this next topic, right? Yo, y'all funny as hell. Like, how does a person with a strong independent mindset assess quality, suitable people for long-term relationships? Now, let me start over here because I feel like, shout out to Els, I appreciate you, but I want to hear the ladies over here talk about this.
Right, Empress.
Okay. I think a very independent person probably, attracts that. I think it's about putting yourself in different environments. I think a lot of the time, we get comfortable in our environments where we feel safe, but I think it's about opening yourself up a little bit more, being in certain environments, doing something different that you don't really do. Me, for example, I met a lot of different people in college. That was a different experience for me. I went to like a predominantly white institution, so the dating pool for me was very, very small. Mm-hmm. But you still are, in an environment where you can see even what you like and don't like in certain other, places and even other people. Also, you're seeing something different than like, the dating pool that you're, used to seeing, because people are from different places where cultures are different. So I think if you want to attract certain things, you have to put yourself in those environments to attract it. You know, like if I don't want a baby daddy, I'm not gonna be going to like the Freaknik cookouts, to look for them. So
Freaknik cookout.
I was there the whole last weekend, but I'm single and I'm not looking for anybody, so I don't care.
Wait, they had a Freaknik cookout, you said?
Yeah, it was a Freaknik cookout.
It was like by the Brooklyn Bridge Park, right?
Yeah, Fort Green. Yeah.
Oh, you was out there.
Nah, I was supposed to go out there. Like, just to,
Your
look
Black
for
Queen
look
was
for
there.
look for some guests for being
Right. You looking for a freak,
But yeah, I do think it's about putting yourself in certain environments, and also like your mentality too, because I had to learn over the course of like my years on earth, being independent is great, but you have to also know your worth and believe that you're worth having like things of value, and being able to receive that, like you have to speak in a certain way and think a certain way in order to attract the things that you want. So I've had to learn not to be so pessimistic, because I've always been like, well, I'm not getting married, I'm just not going to do this, I'm not going to do that, because I know I'm not going to find it. And so like a lot of people have always been like, you have to keep an open mind, which like you're young, you're gonna find people. And I always was like, no, like whatever, because I was, I'm very stubborn sometimes, but that's not, you're not going to find that if you're not trying to, or not even trying to, but if you're not open to it in the slightest, then it, you won't.
You sound like somebody I know. I ain't gonna lie, man. It's crazy.
A lot of shots.
It's crazy, man. Yeah, it's
Yo,
crazy.
I'm lucky. I get this. I don't be getting the bartenders. Shout out to y'all. Y'all put me up here with the right people.
I do think another thing that I think is hindering people is that we have such this negative outlook on marriage, and they both men and women. Like we speak to men who terrified of marriage because they feel like if she divorced me, she's gonna take everything. And on the other hand, we have the women who feel like, well, men are not gonna be faithful. They're gonna cheat. They're gonna
Be
treat me
controlling.
wrong, be controlling. So we have such this negative, stereotype of marriage, this perception of marriage, that it is scaring us off. And ultimately, what is it leading down us? It's just leading down a road of more single parent household, more single families. You know what I mean? So because nobody seems to value, less communities. So nobody seems to value. I actually want to ask maybe a more important question, right? Just to come up with some solutions, right? How do we get out of this? This as society, how do we get out of this nature of everybody just wants to be independent and nobody wants to seem to prioritize family anymore? Like we just want to do our own things. We want to be rich and single. Like how do we get out of that and get back to the communities and to the families? How do we do that?
I think it's the value. I think a lot of people, we tend to just go with what we see. I think that's a very big thing, especially on social media. I feel like people just go with what's trendy. They just go with what they see, or like they just do stuff because they feel like that's what's safe to do. I know a lot of people, they're like the people that, oh, I'm outside, I'm this, I'm that, and a lot of those people aren't satisfied. They're not going outside because that's what makes them happy. They're going outside because they think they're going to get this temporary happiness from being in this environment that like society has deemed.
Good night, Cancer. I'll see you later, hon. Good night. Have a good night.
Lit. So I think we have to first change our mindsets. A lot of people are also very selfish these days. Nobody cares about the.
You welcome, Cancer. I'm gonna start coming back on him more often. I got you.
Next person. Nobody has simple basic morals, like in the very like slightest. Like nobody has any morals. It's literally just greed. Everybody wants money, and money is fine, but you guys are getting money and not satisfied, because when you have money now, it's like you got to reach another target for the money, and then something else, and then something else. So it's like learn to be satisfied with you and like what you have, and create your life, and not feel like you have to take your life from everything else. Like create the life that you want for yourself. And that starts, with your mindset. Why is a man or a woman's financial stability at the top of their list? Is that at the top of your list for your own personal goals? Make sure that the things that you're doing you're standing on it. Like any bar I set for somebody else in my life is a bar that I've already passed or I'm setting for myself. So if you're not meeting me where I am or exceeding where I am right now, then, you know, I'm also, you know, I have a lot of people in my life that, you know, like I'm willing to teach and stuff. And also because, you know, that's what you do. You spread love and you spread wisdom and knowledge, but it's also a matter of people being able to receive. People don't want to receive. They want to be stubborn. They want to go with what's popular and what they see. Everybody thinks that I just need to make it to the top. And when we get to the top, it's like, you know, forget everybody else and forget you know?
It is.
Genesis, what's your thoughts? How can we find some solutions to all this independence and get back to building communities and families?
Well, what I would say is traveling is a big one. And I don't mean just internationally, like for vacation. I mean, like throughout the United States. Like I've been to over 25 states. So I've seen different people. You know, I go to California and people think that I'm half Mexican and I'm half Black. If I stay in New York, people notice that I'm Dominican. If I go to Florida, people will question if I'm Cuban or Puerto Rican. But it's like you be able to see yourself from a different perspective and from a different lens. Mm-hmm. And so I think also volunteering as well, when you see people that have less than you but are more grateful and that are happy that you're servicing them, it kind of makes you understand that, like, wow, I'm like this little tiny speck on earth, but I'm making such a huge impact, and this person that has less than me, like me doing this little thing might help them. And it also helps you put like your life in perspective. Like I'm complaining about this and that, but it's like, look at all the things that I do have. And I feel like that's what we do a lot. We think about the stuff that we want to attain that we don't have, and instead of the things that we do have right now. And I think also, like, when you embody the things that you're looking for in people, it's easier to find more of those people that have those qualities. So it's like, if you want to be someone that makes a certain amount of money or that works with computers or that works with photography, you have to go seek people that do all those things too. You know, and that might require you to get out of your shell and get out of your box. Education too. Like I know a lot of people, they aren't really keen on college education, but you can go take a little course online and learn something that you didn't know before. You know, so I think it's just like stepping outside of your box and like doing something that is scary and is risky.
Okay. We need some solutions. They say that we don't have a lot of solutions. We would just be talking shit. That's what.
Don't make leaving the relationship, mainly marriage, so appealing. If someone can leave a marriage and get a financial subsidy for it, whether that is child support or whether it's alimony, they don't really still see the need to stay around. It's I understand why men don't want to get married, because they stand to lose a lot. So I feel like the laws have to change, because until the laws change, men are not going to continue to risk losing half of their money. But on the female side, you know, a woman doesn't want to risk putting her body through all of the stress that comes with pregnancy just to be with a man that doesn't value the sacrifices she made bearing his children, and he's out running the streets.
True. And now her value goes down in the market.
Yes. I mean, so the benefits that come with certain relationships failing, you have to get rid of it, because then people are going to be forced to either work it out or they're going to go their separate ways and have to start all over again on their own without having to depend on the other person.
Good night, Miss Lynn. Thank you for coming. I know. I've been up here since 7 something. I'm probably gonna get ready and get off in a minute anyway. So you got to get up early for the work. Let me know what time the movie night Monday, and thank you for allowing me on your time. No problem. You are always welcome. I love y'all. Good night. I'm definitely gonna post it on my community wall. I'm gonna give it to Sunday, you know, for people can be able to get their voting in on the poll that's on the community wall. So I know exactly which one which movie I'm gonna look for.
Financially, as far as being independent, there's nothing wrong with being independent. All adults need to have some type of dependence, but you should be able to find you want to find somebody where they lighten the load, so you guys are working together. And you don't want to be so independent to where you make the person feel like they're obsolete and they're not needed, because men like to feel needed. Y'all like to feel like you know, you want to feel like you're wanted, or like
I think everybody wants to feel like they're needed. I don't think no woman wants to feel like she's not needed.
No, yeah, but I would say more so for men, because we know y'all need us.
I think we just against the fact that you guys say y'all don't need us, when we know y'all fucking do.
I think a woman should
I
only
want
say
a
that she doesn't need a man from a financial aspect because as an adult, she shouldn't need to depend on a man financially.
But regardless, there's so much things that a woman need a man for, right?
Of course. Regardless, there's things that we need each
we
other.
just tired of hearing that shit. So like, we get this thing that is like, oh, y'all want to be needed, wow, so bad. No, we just want respect, and we understand you need us like we need you.
But even saying you don't need a man sound ridiculous. If something go wrong with my car, I'm not dropping my car off to none of my homegirls.
Mm-hmm.
Who gonna fix it? A man.
It's a fact.
Plumber.
It's
most
hard.
likely
It's,
a man.
like I always
So
say,
you know,
it's hard to say you don't need a man when you could use your eyeballs and look around and everything that you can physically see was probably built by a man. Like you know what I mean?
you can't say you don't need a man and you want kids. That's crazy.
They said that on our show too.
They did say that on our show. They said you could just go to the sperm and imagine.
Where does sperm come from?
According to her, it just magically appears.
Shout out to Jamie.
Y'all pick them people to come up here. You know,
We did not pick nobody to come up here. It was like, you want to come? Okay. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't know what nobody gonna say out their mouths, and we're not responsible for anything nobody says out their mouth. But just to go back to the
Solutions.
Solutions, man. How do we come up with more solutions?
I like what Elle said just now. Cause it's really more incentives to divorce than it is to stay married. That's really crazy.
Or
I
to have
think
kids before marriage.
that's a fact. But I think the laws need to change. That's two. I mean, that's one. Two, I think that it's gonna be the next generation that's gonna really we got to focus on the next generation because this generation right here,
what generation we talking about?
No, it's
not
the generation after the next generation.
I mean, we got to focus on changing.
We can make it better from our generation. I feel like I'm starting to see a lot of fathers around. I see fathers with shoulders. I ain't see that shit when I was a kid.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So,
but that's what I'm saying. They got to be a piece by piece thing. It's not going to be the next generation. We just got to make it better for them, then make it better for that one, and just got to keep going until we get there. I don't know which generation is going to get fixed.
You seen that video of that little girl in whatever grade school she was in, and she was talking about, I can't wait to get a man so I can put him on child support. Like, this is a little girl saying stuff like that.
But she can be saved though, because she's a little girl. You know what I'm saying? She's still in an impressionable age where you can steer her. You know what I mean?
That household that she's in has to change though.
Exactly.
She's going to that home every day.
Yeah.
Right.
So that household has to change.
But like Umar said, it's gonna take volunteering. What he doing what he doing with the school. We need to be active in the communities and helping the younger generation. I mean, because like I said,
and we're gonna do that. We watch.
They have to be willing to listen though. Some people they don't.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not gonna be easy.
We have to patch up our generation though first. Like I really felt that because a lot of our ideals are not good teachable ones. And they're literally learning from us. So we have to start with ourselves first in order to, change anything that they have going. Like it's literally just the behavior that we have that they're looking at. So, I think everybody need to start with themselves. I would say that people should just stay off social media a little bit or take breaks, like when you
it should be a time management on that shit. Like, you don't do it after certain times or certain days, I think. But to get back to the point, I was also going to say, having self-awareness. A lot of people know they think they know what they want, but they don't know who they are at the same time. So you can't require something or request something from another person if you don't know who you are. And it's going to be hard for you to realize if you're getting what you want because you really don't know what you want. You're getting what everybody else says you should be getting.
Yeah.
So one, we have to identify who we are, build on that, make goals to, become more successful and fill in it. Relationships are transactional. So you got to understand if you're requiring a person to do this, that, and another, you also have to give them something in exchange. For both of us to be happy, it's not about one person being happy, one person being more successful than another, one person disrespecting the other. We both have to understand that a relationship is transactional, and I got to make you happy, and I got to make you happy, and you got to make me happy as well. So once we figure that out, we'll follow. We'll give each other goals and leadership tasks where you might be better than me in this, and I might be better than you in that. We're gonna meet in the middle. We're going to always communicate, and that's going to be the best way to, fix a lot of our issues. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of, men tend to give up on women because they feel like they don't have to deal with it no more. And at the same time, I always say this, that we still have to be in that kid's life. You know what I'm saying? So, and vice versa, a woman shouldn't hinder a man because he don't want to be with you no more. He should still be allowed to be in that kid's life. So if you decided to open your legs and have a kid with this man, he has a right to that child without a court system, without being arrested or doing some crazy shit.
Ain't that crazy when women say you should have fought harder for your child?
Yeah,
That's
I've heard
absolutely ridiculous. You don't
Yeah,
have the right to
that's-
tell a man that he can't see his child. That's his child as well.
Mhm.
I think that a lot of women feel like they carried the baby, which it's not y'all fault. Y'all can't carry babies, but just because you carried the baby for 9 months doesn't mean that the child is more yours than the man.
Mhm.
Because if it wasn't for his nuts, you wouldn't have had the baby to begin with.
Mhm.
And I'm not gonna lie, a lot of these mothers be emotionally unstable and having kids for the wrong reason. I'm not gonna lie, I am like completely against the baby having right now. It's just too much of it, and people are having babies for the wrong reason.
Or for no
like
reason.
no reason at all. You shouldn't look for unconditional love from a child. That's
crazy.
something you find within yourself first, and look for that and create your foundations. Like people are literally having kids and messing these kids up
Because the child needs you.
Remember, young girls used to be scared of having kids young, right? Now they just like super soaking that hole, like they with it.
Yo,
That's definitely a fact. Like all these kids do is it's like it seems like the age is getting more and more younger, because I know when I was younger, 12, 13, boy, that was the most thing I ever feared. Wasn't nobody trying to get pregnant. You know what I mean? As a child like that, like, come on now, really? I still get on punishment. I still get whoopings. Like, are you for real? What I supposed to do with a child? I'm a child myself, but these days, they go around like they trying to make babies, like, all the time. They try to have whole families. They be trying to think they in the whole damn marriage. Like, it just trips me out. They growing up too fast.
Oh, sorry. Maybe that was.
I wouldn't use those. That
my last thing I wanted to say is therapy, man. Like for a while, therapy has been like the negative thing in our community. I think even when I tell people these days, like, oh, I think you should go to therapy, they're like, oh, for what? I'm like, yo, I think everybody should go to therapy. Relax, man. You know what I mean? So I think we need to change the stigma on therapy. Everybody needs to seek that and better their mental state, and that'll be better for the change.
Yeah, I think everybody. And shout out to Juma for you spitting over there, man. Like, the more I think about it, I don't think there's. Before we get about it, I don't think there's a such thing as interdependent, right? Because when you think about it, like everybody's dependent on somebody. Whether you go to your job, you're dependent on your employer to pay you. If you an entrepreneur, you're dependent on your customers to come and support. Like, I don't really think nobody is truly independent. We all depend on somebody in some form or fashion. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so this whole I'm independent, I don't need nobody. No, you do, because you depend on people for your check. You depend on the government assistance. You depend on whatever the case is. Your like you always depend on somebody. So there has to be more incentives to show the positive sides of marriage and relationship, healthy marriages and relationships. We have to stop promoting these these toxic relationships, because that's just doing nothing but scaring everybody away. We gonna get there, hopefully. You know what I mean? So like, anyway, man, I appreciate y'all for pulling up. Els, we appreciate you. I would ask you to, outro yourself, but they don't want people.
Just show the merch. Just show the merch.
Oh yeah, get the merch. Yeah.
And Primark at Valley Stream, she said.
And Walmart.
At church.
And Walmart.
And
church.
Everybody baby shower
after the
come
service.
from Primark. Everybody baby shower.
Primark got that stuff though.
That's a fact.
I haven't been. do.
Girl.
Again, let them know where they go follow you at.
Yeah, I'm on all social medias at iamgenesis.nyc.
You said you had OnlyFans? Oh, nah, I thought she said that last time.
On
like,
all social media.
No, I thought I could have sworn last time you said you had OnlyFans. My fault. We get a lot of women on the
Me?
show. Like, so we get a lot.
I mean, no shade, but like, you know, if you do OnlyFans,
Nah, she said her
congratulations,
brother's
but-
about to beat her ass because she was going outside
Sounds
looking
like she
crazy.
in a bikini,
yeah.
That's a good brother.
Yeah, shout out to her brother.
Maybe
man.
we should have
Again.
him on the podcast because
I need to, man. Again, let them know where they can follow you at.
On IG, Empress Kelly 7.
Again, we appreciate y'all tuning in. Make sure y'all cop the merch.
You know what I'm saying?
I gotta point at them.
Shout out to the real ones. We the real ones, you know what I'm saying?
I appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all join the membership, man. We got a lot of behind the scenes. We got a lot of exclusive interviews coming up. I ain't trying to spoil too much, but y'all gotta stay tuned, man. You know what I mean? Live streams. Which every week we try to do live. Make sure y'all listen to the podcast audio. The podcast audio always comes out early on all streaming platforms on Tuesdays, 6 a.m. in the morning. But listen, y'all can just listen to it whenever. Like, you know,
Go in the crates, listen to our old shit.
Go to the archives.
You know what I'm saying?
Like,
watch us level up.
Don't go too deep because it might be some snobs joking. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Like,
wait, did they said this? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, listen, man, we appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure you hit that like button. Let me send them over there. Appreciate y'all, man.
All right, y'all. That is it for tonight. I'm about to sit back and chill, probably find me a movie, work on a little paperwork, and that's it. That's all. Thank you all for joining. See you later. Good night.